Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is March 5th, 2024 already. We're back. Another evening show tonight, guys. Madeline Soto, Sebastian Rogers, Elijah Vu, Miss Kaylee Kinder, and the Lord down in Florida, Grady Judd strikes again. But it's good stuff. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you all had a wonderful day, and hopefully we can end the night the right way together. So, what do you say? We get this, you know the rest. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hello, everybody. How are you tonight? Hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Had a great day today. I missed you guys. I had a busy day. I was outside getting my hands dirty all day. Yes. It was 80 degrees here today, folks. So, and the boss was off today, so she put me in charge of doing some things. The honeydew list was big today. So I was busy all day. But here I am now. I missed you all very much, and I appreciate you all joining me this evening. We got some updates to look at, some interesting things to look at with some of these things. Something a little bit new that is a good thing. And we're going to talk about that and do what we do at the True Crime Cafe here. Besides drink coffee, we're going to talk about steps. Let's see who we got here with us tonight. Hope you're all having a great night. And I appreciate you guys taking time out to be here with me and the rest of us. When you could obviously easily be doing something else. Let me know how I sound if you can hear me okay. It looks like SRB is in the house. Molly Drake, welcome back. Good to see you. Crime Time. Mama Bear's in the chat. She'll probably be hanging in the chat for a little bit, and then she's off, guys, because she's got woke in the morning. Doodlebug, welcome back. Good to see you, SRB. Great to have you here. I think I already said that, but welcome anyway. Jingles, welcome back to you. Cindy Kerf, what is happening? Say hello to Al for me, as always. Deborah Thompson, great to see you. Welcome back. Miss Delta, thank you for being here today. And that goes to all my amazing moderators. Thank you for joining me again. Couldn't do this without you. See here, Mama Doodlebug, 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 my Doodlebug. Great to have you here. Great to see you. Welcome back, Mountain Mama. Great to see you. Lisa Vallejo, same to you. Let me see. Brandy B, the OG, always, never fails. Always, always. Tomboy Charm, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ro, welcome back to you. Let's see here. Moonlit Baby, welcome back. Great to see you. Great to have you on the mic. What is up, my brother? Thank you for joining us tonight. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. Miss Jody, great to see you. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Miss Wisdom Speaks. Miss Sherry's in the house. Again, another amazing moderator here on this team. I appreciate you all so very much. Evie Marie, great to have you here. Great to see you. Hiromi No, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. I always appreciate new faces, guys. Everybody here, please make anybody new feel at home as we always do, so that they'll want to come back next time. Appreciate that very much. Moni69. Moni's in the middle. Where's she at? She's in the middle. Welcome back, Moni. Moni, good to see you. Party of Five, great to have you here. Canadian Cat Lady, welcome back, ma'am. Great to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Baby Boop, Baby Boop. What is going on with you? Welcome back. Good to have you here tonight. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Molly. Let me see. Jingles is in the house. What's going on, Jingles? Good to see you. Come on in, everybody. Grab a chair. We got 50 peeps in here. Just 50. Share this out, guys. Get everybody else in here. 20 likes, 35, 36. We're moving on up. Come on now. Let's make it happen. You know why? We got to get it in the algorithm so everybody can see that. These children need the utmost attention over everything. So that's why the algorithm is so important. Stephen Wayne, True Crime. Welcome, sir. Great to see you. Thank you for the comment. Virginia Wolf, welcome back, bro. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for being here. Felicity J, always a pleasure, dear. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Miss Zelda. Come on in, everybody. 50's nifty, isn't it? It sure is. Got one more year. Sir Head on Fire. Welcome to the True Crime Cafe. I am Sir Head on Fire, folks. It's great to have you all here. I'm doing good, Steven. How are you doing, my friend? We got 59 peeps with 44 likes. We're getting there. Come on now, everybody. We can do this. Even if you got to pretend like you like me, it helps. Just pretend. That's all you got to do. Just think, bud, 50's going to be nifty. It's going to have to be, Mike, because it can't be anything else. You know what I'm saying? Come on in, everybody. Again, share this out. Please hit the like button. Leave me some DNA, if you will, on that like button on the way in the door. MIA, you are no longer MIA. Welcome. Good to see you, dear. Thank you for joining us tonight. Excuse me, guys. Come on in. 58 people. 44 likes. We can do this. Get up and dance a little bit. That'll make you want to hit that like button. Come on, come on. That's right. Do it for the children so more people can see this stream. Thank you, Zelda. 100%. The whole world needs to see this. Thank you guys again for joining me tonight. Thank you for joining me last night. We had a treat last night, guys. We had Miss Duchess in here. That was awesome. I think she's an amazing creator. She does an amazing job with everything she does. And if you guys haven't not yet checked her out, I'm going to have one of my amazing mods drop that link in here, please, to Duchess. And the other gentleman that was on her panel for that interview is Trev Time. We'll drop his link as well. Both great channels. Please go check them out. Show support, show the love. She has an amazing voice. She's a great interviewer, too. She did an amazing job. She's very comforting, okay? Knowing that these people are having a very hard time. That was an amazing interview. And I'm beyond grateful that she did that, because how else would we get that? Welcome back, Terry Martin. Great to see you tonight, hon. Thank you for being here. Minnie Joe, the Wonder Mod's in the house. Thank you for joining us. I know she's got a great voice. It's just so relaxing and calming and peaceful. She made me feel comfortable. It was my channel. Do you know what I mean? She made me feel comfortable. And I was like, wow, you are so sweet. Such a nice lady. And I am looking forward to working with her, doing what we do here, guys. Spreading the word, working together. She's an awesome, awesome lady with a great channel. Trev Time seemed to be doing pretty good. I loved it. I loved it. Loved it. Very supportive, too. So please, guys, go support them. 2014 is in the house. What is going on with you? Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you here. Let me see here. SRB. I see a bunch of faces in here. I'm very happy to see, especially all together like that. Appreciate you guys jumping in and supporting this channel. All these new faces. Welcome, 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 guys. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. This is an amazing community in here with a very, very amazing supportive team that supports this community and this channel. You can't go wrong here, folks. I love it, and I hope to God you'll all love it and come back many, many more times. What is going on, Mikey? Tammy, good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. There's our Mandy Joe, the Wonder Mod. She's only mods for 72 channels. And she does it all at one time. When they're all live, she does it all together. Okay, that's why she has that big, those tights with the cape with the big M on the front of it, because she's a super mod. Teresa Morton, welcome back. Good to see you. Angel of Virtue, welcome back to you. Just put your tail in your mouth. Okay. That whatever works for, that's what you guys got to do. Miss Felicity J, I am so thankful to have all you guys in here tonight, and for having patience for me not being live today, because I was super busy today. Guys, it was 80 degrees here. 80. Yes. Unbelievably warm. Miss Kathy Dugan's in the house, dropping the first super sticker of the night. Thank you so much for that, Kathy. Stand up and dance a little. We appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless. You, my dear, are amazing, as that super sticker says. There it is again. I agree with that one, Mandy. I don't know how you survive all of what you do, but you do it. You do it. You didn't get that, SRB? We're in the same state. You think we get it all, you know? I was surprised. I was. I got up about 2 o'clock to go to the store, and I was like, okay, because I had to grab some, what the heck did I have to grab? I can't remember what the hell I went to the store for. But anyway, and I happened to look at the barometer thing, the thermometer that's in the vehicle for the outside temp, and it said 78 degrees. And I was like, what? What is going on? I knew I was sweating. That was different. And I could just tell, you know what I mean? Welcome, Ro. Good to see you tonight. Guys, share this out, if you will. Andy Peterson, welcome back. Great to see you this evening. Thank you for being here. 75 beautiful people in here with 53 likes. You guys are disappointing me. You don't like me. Why don't you like me, guys? Jeez. Come on. Just hit the like button. It's free. Please. Just one time. Each one of you hit it once. We'll be good. We got to get in that algorithm, guys. We got to get this out there. Duh. Doodle's looking at me like I'm insane with them eyes down there. You see it? Miss Jessica, welcome, and I love you all as well. Mama Bear says, don't whine. Oh, wow. You see, guys? See what she does to me? Sit up and sit down, Daigle. Angel D is in the house. What's up? I know you did, Terry. I know you did too, Annie. It's all these other people that just won't do it. People like Mama Bear. She probably didn't do it. Let me see. Who else do we have in here that probably didn't do it? I'm going to say probably Mandy Joe didn't probably do it. I can almost bet you $100 she didn't do it. She's too busy. She's got to mod like 5 channels right now, all at one time while we're all live. You're insane, Mandy. I don't know how you do that. I'm serious. All jokes aside, how do you keep up with all that? Michelle Macklin, welcome back. Great to see you again. Thank you for joining us. Blasphemy. It is blasphemy, you tyrant. I'm sure you did. I'm just teasing you. Do I get... There's Miss Brandy B. Do I get ice? Sure. I will send you ice cream if you hit it. By the time it gets from Ohio to that bear, she's good at what she slides in, right? When the ice cream gets to you, Brandy, it's probably going to be milk, but I'll send it to you, I promise. Good to see you tonight, Angel. Thank you for joining us. You are appreciated. Josie West, great to have you here. You actually see, she admits it right there. I actually forgot last night. This is one of my moderators. She's been a moderator for over a year, and she can't remember she can't hit the like button for me. This is what happens when you put a union in, guys. See what happens? They all go nuts. I put a union in, they lose their minds. What am I supposed to do about that? What's that? Blue Bunny ice cream is the stuff. You ever had that, Virginia? I love it. It's good. Mr. Philip Hughes, my friend. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. We might have to get rid of the union, guys, if you can't get your head screwed on straight. I mean, come on, you guys. Blue Bell. Or go to hell. She said Blue Bell or go to hell. I'll take it. It's good. I like ice cream in general, but I don't eat it. I can't eat it anymore. In your defense, she was at the grocery store. Well, what are you doing at the grocery store? You're supposed to be modding 72 channels. How can you go to the grocery store? It's not allowed. There is Blue Bunny. Blue Bunny is, I think it's from down south. That's how I got into it, because my wife's family is from down south. So, welcome, Neil Homestead. Good to see you. Chunky Monkey. Are you calling me names again, Annie? See, this is what I'm talking about, mods. You're not even paying attention. I got people in here calling me names. Chunky Monkey. Do I look like a chunky monkey? Don't answer that. Instacart, yes. Of course, Mikey. Mikey's good with that stuff. How many people do you know that will Instacart their beer to their house? Besides Brian Hoffman and, of course, Mikey. I didn't even know you could do that. Are you telling them to block me? You can't do that, Mandy. I'm out here on the outside, controlling it all. Remember, too many. She's getting crazy, you guys. Playing it safe. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, I'm glad you do that. I don't have to worry about you too. You're a big boy. You can handle it. Well, see, again, this is what happens. I put a union in, and these mods go nuts. They treat me like doo-doo. Cookies and cream. Yes. Damn, that sounds good. Who says you're a lot more naughty offline than you are online? Of course I am. I'm not going to swear online. I absolutely am. I'm not going to swear when I'm in here. There's ladies in here. It's not very nice. Doodle, that's my favorite one as well. Rocky Road. One of my favorites. I love Rocky Road. Yes, I do say bad words when I'm not live because I'm human, but of course. Butter pecan is one of my favorites too, Michelle. I've had that one. SRB, I'm not a big fan of that. It's been leaked. Yes. Dago swears. I do. You guys remember back in the day when, like, if I would drop the F bomb, Mandy would just like have like a full blown like, oh my god, do it again. You guys remember that? Yes. Chunky Monkey. I've had that one before, Annie. It's pretty good actually. I like oh, what is it called? Peanut peanut butter cup. It's with like a dark chocolate ice cream, and it's got those big hunks of peanut butter chunks in it. Oh my god, you guys, that's so good. She said I still do. Well, then all right. I only do that when I get really, really mad, and it takes a lot to get me there. It brings you joy. Okay. Well, I'm glad I can do that for you when I do it. I'm too bitter for birthday cake ice cream. You're not bitter. Mikey thinks he's bitter. No, no, no. You're not bitter at all. Chocolate chip cookie dough. I've never been a fan of that one. Would you say yep, haha, for Molly? I love Rocky Road though. I like anything that has like pecans or walnuts or just peanuts in it. I've always liked any kind of ice cream that has any kind of those nuts in it. What almonds especially. Blueberry waffle ice cream is awesome. I've never even heard of that one. That sounds amazing though. Pistachio, yes, I love pistachio. Pistachio. Come on in, grab a chair, folks. 88 peeps in here. 71 likes. We're almost there. We're getting there. Around too many nuts to like them in food. I get it. I do get it. Remember the little pink spoons at Baskin Robbins? I always got the ice cream with the chiclets in it. I've never even heard of that, Mandy. Like the gum, the little square pieces of gum. I never knew they put those in ice cream. I just bought chocolate banana cotton candy and sour watermelon ice cream. Ooh, whoa, make my teeth hurt here, bro. Or ma'am. Miss Salty's in the house. Welcome, True Crime Time. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Oh, there we go. That's one of my absolute favorites. My grandfather spoiled me on that when I was just a little guy. He would take us to ice cream or Dairy Queen ice cream. Take me to ice cream. He would take us to Dairy Queen. And when I was little, I loved the a vanilla cone dipped in that cherry syrup that hardens. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Until I realized that they do butterscotch. That is so good. I love butterscotch. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Welcome, Doc. Draw Latina's in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good to see you. Pink bubbly gum ice cream. I've never had that. Sounds interesting. Chocolate almond fudge. Yes, I love that, Josie. That's good stuff too. Oh, we got salty saying banana split. Doesn't sound bad. Pistachio is one of my favorites. Wait a minute. Angel's saying, did y'all get that ice cream in a cup with the bubble gum? Yep. Those used to come out of the ice cream truck that would come by. That's where you could get those at. I never seen them anywhere else but there. Um, DKM, welcome back. Great to see you tonight. Pickled jelly beans. Wait, what? They have pickled jelly beans? I've never heard of that. I'm not sure how I feel about that either. Hello, Miss Cassie. How are you tonight? Caramel with praline. Yes, that's good. Especially with that sweet. It gives you that sweet and salty taste. How did we get into this conversation again? Five Below. Freddy's Frozen Custard. I've never heard of that one. Brandy started it. That's right. You did, Brandy. You started it. Asking for ice cream. Fried pickles. Oh, yes. Deep fried pickles are good. Deep fried Oreos. Anybody ever tried those or the deep fried Twinkies? Oh, mama. I'm a happy fat boy when I see and hear that stuff. I'm telling you right now. Just gained 5 pounds. Probably did, Doodle. Y'all are making me want ice cream. I don't blame you. Deep fried Oreos are the stuff. They really are so good. And the Twinkies are amazing. I agree. Deep fried pickles are like really good though. If you can get it to a place where you can get a deep fried pickle and then get a deep fried Twinkie right after it, make sure you take your cholesterol meds, but you'll be good. I'll tell you what, it's not something to have every day, Virginia. It is very good though. Freddy has decent burgers, nothing. Well, I've never even heard of that place before. Samoa cookies and cream. Damn. Oh, I thought you were in the U.S. Angel, I didn't know you were over the pond. Where are you located, Miss Angel? Thinny curve. Come on in, guys. We got 93 peeps and 75 likes. Come on now. We gotta get it out there. Especially the stuff we're gonna talk about. We got some interesting updating. And we need to talk about some updates too. All right, that's right. We got an Aussie, another Aussie. My best friend David's an Aussie. One of my guys is at the fair, and I'm still upset because I was thinking I'd order. I know, man. Those things are dangerous. Whoever came up with those, shame on you. Yes, Doodle's got a cool name. I love her name too. Angel's under witness protection. Oh, okay. Stephen Wayne, true crime, coming from North Carolina. That's awesome. Wonderful to have you here. So, as you all know, um, we have been out looking for missing children. There's so many of them. We're doing our part. Unfortunately, we had one close to home here a couple days back. Our own Brandy, her niece, she's been still out there. There's no good news yet. And we got some things to talk about in a Madeline Soto case. Interesting things that are horrible. Eliza Boo, there's a little update there. Kaylee Kinder is Brandy's niece. We're going to just update the info with that one and keep praying that somebody finds her soon. Well, hello, Miss Liberty. Good to see you, sweetie. She waved at the phone and said hi. That's too cute. Yes, she is now reported as missing and a possible runaway now. I don't think they did an Amber on her, though. I'm going to pull it up and show you guys what I got. So, yeah, there's no Amber on that one. I don't understand it either. She's listed as a missing person and as a possible runaway. I think there should be a, I don't know. This is insane. That's what I want to know. We got a couple things to talk about with Sebastian as well. Oh, this is so disheartening. Oh, because she left on her own. Got you. Okay. Thank you, Duty. I agree, Cassie. I think there should be an Amber Alert, but she wasn't taken against her will. I forget about that. I mean, I think that's just ridiculous. We really need to change these things up. Agree. I agree. Right. It's got to be an abduction. But she is listed now as missing and as a possible runaway. Right. Any possible mention of runaway does not get Amber. It just needs a different, and that's all they need to do is make it a different alert, period. Yes, Michelle, thank you for that so much. This, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that may not have been in here last night, Miss Michelle Macklin has come on over here from the Duchess's channel. Wonderful channel. If you guys haven't seen it yet, please go check it out. Mods, if we can drop the link, please. So please treat Miss Michelle just like we would treat everybody else. Welcome her like we do. And I hope you enjoy the channel, Michelle, and it's so wonderful to have you here. As always. I hope you're doing well tonight, Doc. It's great to see you. I hope you're not working too hard out there, Draw. There we go. There's a Duchess's channel. There's the link for it, guys. Please, please, if you will, go check it out. Click on that link. Show some support and love and show some respect because she definitely deserves. She does an amazing job over there. Thank you again, Miss Sherry, for putting that up there. I have a lot of questions that I'm. Thank you, Cassie. I have a lot of questions that I'm struggling with still in the um, Kaylee Kinder case. I don't understand. The runaway name is Kaylee Kinder. Draw. It's actually Brandy, my moderator. Brandy, it's her niece. Thank you, Brandy, for that. Florida baby, welcome back. Great to see you. 106 peeps and 82 likes, guys. We're getting there, but come on. Just a few more. Just a few more. Diego and I both don't, right? I have a lot of questions, guys. It's been a long, there's a long amount of time at this point. Okay. I think we're going on 48 hours now. Or very close to it, 36 hours, somewhere along them lines. And nothing. There's nothing. She didn't have a phone. She broke her phone before she went out the door, so there's no communication. Her grandmother lives right next door. She didn't go there. So she lives in one of the most rural areas I've ever seen in my life, you guys. She walked out the door and she's gone. Where could she have gone? Okay. When looking at this the other day, there's trees and farmland. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing. In my opinion, and I hate saying this because I know this is Brandy's niece, and it's scary to say this, but I think somebody picked her up. That's the only understandable thing to me. That's the only thing that makes any sense. It's so rural out there that there had to have been some car going by. Maybe she flagged a car down, and she's 13. But I'm going to show you guys the poster again. But anyway, that's the only thing that makes any sense. And that scares me. Not everybody's nice. Not everybody's trustworthy, especially with a little girl, okay? I know, Brandy, and it's a shame, and I don't like to say things like that to upset people, but I have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. That's the only thing I can think of, Cass. Unless she has a friend that nobody knew about and she's hiding there, that would be wonderful. Because then we could all breathe a little bit. She doesn't have a phone, Kim. She broke her phone before she left. That's why she left. That's why she was upset. She wanted a new phone, and her dad said, no, not right now. She got upset, broke her phone, and walked out the door. Dane Crawford, welcome. Great to see you. Groot, welcome back. Great to have you here. 109 beautiful peeps here. 85 likes. We're getting there. Come on, guys. We were 2 away last night when I ended the show. We got to get to at least 100, please. There's 100 people in here. You guys can hit that like button one time, and we'll all be there. Welcome, Dane. All right, let me get some stuff moving here. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me run my mouth. And of course, we got to thank Mama Bear for this. Oh, that's a good point. Everything she's ever done could be on that phone. I see what you're saying. That's a good idea. I don't know. Brandy, do you happen to know who her cell phone provider was or is? That's a good point, though. I appreciate that. Kaylee has been missing for over 24 hours now. She is only 13 years old. Please share this out. If you see something, say something, please. We do need to bring her home. Every little thing counts with every one of these kids. All right, all right. For those of you that aren't familiar, I'm going to pause this here. She's from Heber Springs, Arkansas. She went missing on March 4th of this year, of course. She's 13 years old. She is 5'4", 130 pounds. Dirty, like dirty dishwater blonde colored hair. She's white with green eyes and female. Of course, she has a scar on her upper lip um, due to having to have stitches. And this is all going out through Cleburne County Sheriff's Department in Arkansas there. So if you guys want to take down that number, in what regard for Kim? I would ask Brandy that question. I can't answer those. The number is 501-362-8143. Even if it's just the smallest detail, please don't feel like you shouldn't call because it could be that one detail that matters. Cooter, welcome back. Great to see you. It's been a while. Great to have you here. We're doing good, Cooter. Thank you for joining us tonight. Her dad responded to someone asking on Facebook if campsites had been checked, and he said, "Not that I know of." That's an interesting theory. Very interesting theory. I would have never thought of that myself, actually. How about the phone records? If her dad carries her phone account, he has the right to contact the company. No, I do believe so. I do believe so. That's a good point, Draw. They do need to check with the phone company and have the phone records checked to see if there's somebody she was talking to beforehand or somebody that she may have gone to that they're not familiar with. Because nothing else makes any other sense, guys. At this moment, her dad is handling the cell phone. Okay, good. Um, Kimberly KB, welcome. With any, from what we understand, there was no food or money or anything like that. Kimberly. Terry's asking, do cell phone carriers still treat info on cell phones like HIPAA? They do. They do. They're very, very tight-lipped with a lot of this stuff. You have to fight. You have no idea how many times that like law enforcement has to fight just to get some info in a case. It's a rough thing. Right. Exactly. me see something here. KP, what's going on? Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Noni McPoppins, welcome back. Great to have you here. How can no Amber Alert be made for a 13-year-old who left on her own? She's a child. This is ridiculous. I agree. I don't like the law, but that is what it is, KP. Thank you, Noni. God bless. And you guys rock and roll. We made it into the 100 zone. Now we can get this out in that algorithm and get this out everywhere where it needs to be. It was said in a comment on Facebook she had a pink backpack, but no mention of clothing. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Maybe she did have some things in there that she needs to survive. Maybe she had a plan, guys, and she's actually, I'm hoping that she's okay. That's what I'm worried about. I don't trust other people. That's my biggest problem. I do not trust other people, especially not nowadays. So again, guys, this is Miss Kaylee Kinder. This is Brandy, one of my main mods here. This is her her niece. Thank you, Molly. So please, I'm going to bring this picture back up again at the end of the show just to give you an extra reminder. But take a good look. Write down that number just in case you guys happen to know something and you're in this area. I do believe that's true, Draw. I think it is. All right. Hold on here. Okay, and the sad thing is we've had a couple people over the past few days pull up the fact that there are some RSOs in that area too. Okay. Looks like one of them is a level 2, level 3. Yeah. Okay, so they're over there, guys, and it's just always something to worry about. That one makes me nervous. And that road is right over there. Thank you, Molly. Michelle Wetta, welcome back. Good to see you. That's a good point, though, Terry. I don't know. I don't know if they've thought of that or not. Thank you, Michelle. That's horrible. That is so horrible. Right. Exactly, Kim. I agree, Brandy. I'm not sure how far they've gone yet, Carrie. I hope that they will. I really, yeah, as far as everybody knows, that's all she left with. All right, guys, bear with me. Hold on here. Yes, last night was rough. I agree, SRB. I do. Clinton Township, Michigan. Got you. All right. So again, her name is Kaylee Kinder, guys. Out of Heber Springs, Arkansas, 13 years old. 5'4", 130 pounds, dirty blonde hair, green eyes. Very, very beautiful little girl. Um, we need to bring her home. She needs to be home. So we're gonna go back to that at the very end. Um, we do have some new stuff on the other stuff we're looking into for sure. All right. All right. So let's see here. Let me jump into this other. One second, folks. So last night, like I said, we got to listen to Sebastian's parents interview with Duchess. It was an amazing interview. Um, very, very interesting, and I'm grateful that they did that. That we were able to hear those words. So, welcome, Jody Walters. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right, let me get this up and rolling. Get you guys up to date on anything you may not know. Hold on here. One second, guys. Sorry. I don't know what just happened to my screen, but it disappeared. Hold on. Where did it go? Oh, that one needs to go down. That one's good. Where's the other one at now? Dang it. There we go. Okay. Move that over there. Give me one moment, folks. Hold up. Nope. Wrong one. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Oh, I did it again. Hold on, guys. Okay. Oh, uh, something's going on here. I don't know why they're doing this. Uh-huh. All right. Nope. Second. How was that doing? Bear with me, guys. I'm having some kind of weird technical thing. Why is it doing it? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I got it right now. Sorry about this. This is insane. Sorry about all that. Okay, so as far as Sebastian goes, this is frightening to you, Prayers and Kaylee. Absolutely, draw. Thank you. Um, all right, guys, and again, let me know how the audio is on this, please.
Law enforcement announced they're scaling back, but the family of Sebastian is still holding on to hope for his safe return. They spoke exclusively with our Holly Thompson earlier today. Holly live in Hendersonville there at the command center. Oh, Holly, how are they doing?
I tell you, obviously very emotional. Sebastian's mother, Katie, she broke down several times during our interview today. I mean, as you can imagine, this just touches that mama's heart, and she wants him to
Thank you,
come
Mandy.
home. And we listen in as she talks about what these last 8 days have been like for the family.
Welcome,
How are you
Michelle.
coping?
We're on a constant roller coaster ride of helpless and hopeless and many other emotions all in one, and it's a never-ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop. It won't stop until he walks through the door.
And Katie tells us that she woke up that morning and within 3 minutes, she knew Sebastian was not in the house and called 911. They say they have no idea what would have motivated him to leave the house. They say they have been fully cooperating with authorities and know they've also spoken with his biological father and those who know him from school. So we're going to have much more on this story. We're going to be talking to her about what they've been going through, the very latest with the search, also reaction from family. And I even asked them, are they in the clear now? What is the latest with this story? So we'll have much more coming up. But for now, for the latest on the search, I'm going to toss over to Danielle Ledbetter for that part of the story. Danielle.
Yeah, Holly, so you can see that this lot behind me is pretty much empty. This is at the command center. Earlier today, we've seen a lot of first responders leaving the command center. And this is a big difference from what we saw last week. That lot was full with hundreds of first responders all here looking for Sebastian. Now, law enforcement officials told me today that they have thrown everything they possibly can at this search. So we, of course, have told you about the dogs, the horses, the drones, but they also brought in cave specialists and people to search underground and storm drains. Eric Craddock with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office said the decision to scale back did not come lightly. He also did say that they will continue to be committed to finding Sebastian, and there's no indication that he's not alive. Holly.
All right, Danielle with the latest there. Now, much more coming up throughout all our evening shows. Coming up at 4 o'clock, their message for the community. We have lots to get to, but for now, Holly Thompson live here in Hendersonville.
All right. All right. I think I got things back to. Sorry about all these technical problems. Every time I try to do something, give me 1 second. I think we're back being good. All right. Hold up. I forgot to turn that down again. Okay. There we go. All right. Moving along, moving along. Okay. All right, guys. This is up next here. This was put up as of an hour ago. We're at 10 days now on Sebastian. This is getting ridiculous for one, and it's very scary as far as I'm concerned.
Now passed, still no sign of Sebastian Rogers. The teen's mother and stepfather say he just walked out of their Sumner County home and vanished.
Yesterday, we heard from them for the first time, pleading for their boy to come home. Our Nick Barris also interviewed his biological father.
Somebody has you, son. Run. Run to the next person you meet. Ask to use their phone and call 911. Tell them who you are. Let them find you.
Authorities announced yesterday their search efforts have been scaled back. The parents have not been named as suspects, and we are told they are cooperating with this investigation. Originally, police told neighbors in the Shackle Island area to check any doorbell or home security footage from late last Sunday night to early Monday morning when Sebastian reportedly disappeared. Now they are asking neighbors to check footage from earlier on Sunday. Here's another look at the photos we have of Sebastian. If you see him, if you know anything about this, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
All right, I got something else that was brought to my attention earlier today, by the way. That was Sebastian's biological father that was on the phone for that, by the way. God bless him. I can't imagine what these guys are going through. Last night was rough, that's for sure, listening to that interview. But I think I got myself together today. At least I hope I do. All right, where is this at here? Where did it go? Hold on, everyone. Um, all right. Gonna come up or not? Here we go. Okay. I'll start doing that again now. Where did that go? Hang on. I have something else that I just had and it disappeared. Somebody's messing with my computer tonight. Something's not right. Where in the hell is it? Are you still in here, Mama Bear? I think they're guessing that that's what happened, Terry, because they were in bed and it happened between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. You sent me that one article about that other lady, didn't you? About Sebastian's case. Where did it go? I cannot find it now. Where it is, where it is, where it is. Oh, maybe it's in the other. There it is. Lord, I got too many places to look. Thank you, everybody. Here we go. All right, give me a second here. Jeez. You guys would think I never did this before, huh? How about that? So sorry for all the confusion, everybody. Okay, so this article was sent to me earlier today, and I thought it was quite interesting. It's a good question. Thank you, Mandy. That's a good question, Carolyn. Based on what the phone interview sounded, or what the interview sounded like, it sounded like he wasn't there initially. Maybe he had gotten up and gone to work, and then that's when the mother had realized, that Sebastian was gone. Okay, so convicted felon Kerry Foster deceived search efforts for missing autistic teen Sebastian Rogers. Okay. This says in a shocking revelation, it has come to light that Kerry Foster, a convicted felon with a history of reckless behavior, including 2021 incident in which she was arrested after bringing a loaded handgun into an elementary school, is actively deceiving the search efforts for missing autistic teen Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian, who was mysteriously vanished sometime after 9 p.m. on Sunday. Let's see, the time is backed up a little bit more now. February 21st now faces the grave threat of having his search efforts compromised by Foster's deceitful actions. Now, this is ridiculous. Thank you, Starby, for I think that'll answer your question, Carolyn, that the stepfather was supposedly in Memphis at work. So, unbeknownst to the community, Foster has been operating under a false facade, concealing her troubled past and leveraging her position within the search operation to spread lies and misinformation to her group, where she holds an admin status, which consists of over 6,000 members. With cunning confidence, she manipulates the genuine intentions of volunteers, leading them astray with false promises and baseless claims. Under her false claim of insider knowledge, Foster has brazenly directed search efforts beyond the boundaries established by law enforcement and has trespassed on private property via horseback while insinuating that she was carrying firearms. Wow. See, and again, the priority for this needs to be Sebastian. These types of things shouldn't be going on at all. Everybody should be focusing on him, nothing else. This is ridiculous that this is happening. So, under her false claim of insider knowledge, okay, Foster has brazenly directed search efforts. Boundary. Oh, yeah, I did that. Sorry, guys. Permission to do all of this, which has been proven to be false by the authorities. Her delusional obsession with finding Sebastian blinds her to the real dangers her actions pose to herself and innocent bystanders. It is imperative that the community wakes up to the reality of Foster's deceit. Sebastian's chances of being found diminished well with each passing moment in Foster, that Foster continues to peddle her lies and manipulate the search efforts. This is not a misunderstanding or misguided intentions. This is a deliberate act of sabotage by a woman driven by her own twisted and assumed mentally ill motivations. A licensed mental health specialist has now confirmed this to us. As concerned citizens, it is our duty to put an end to Foster's dangerous charade before it inflicts irreparable harm on Sebastian's search and his chances of returning home safely. We must demand accountability and swift action from authorities to halt Foster's deceit and ensure that justice is served for Sebastian and his distraught family. The time for complacency is over. Let us unite in exposing Foster's treachery and reclaiming the search efforts for Sebastian's sake. Every moment counts, and we cannot afford to let Foster's deception stand in the way of bringing Sebastian home where he belongs. A detective working on Sebastian's case has confirmed that Carrie Foster has absolutely no authority in this case and that her criminal background prevents her from even passing out flyers. That's sad. Carrie's full criminal record can be found on the Tennessee Department of Corrections website, from where you can search for Carrie Foster to view her record. The Facebook group in question, titled Finding Sebastian Rogers, can be found here. It's important to note that any comments and or posts questioning her authority in the group have been removed, often banning the commenters from the group entirely. We have been recently notified that multiple other admins of this group are maliciously working with Foster. We can now guarantee that this group is not credible place to get information on Sebastian's search whilst under the administration of Carrie Foster. Carrie's additional and previous criminal history, sources, and evidence leading up to this article may be released at a later date. We are not releasing everything due to the urgency of this article. Wow. So there's a child missing, and we're dealing with this kind of stuff involving, you know what I mean? This kind of crap. I mean, come on. So I guess basically what we need to do then is be careful with this Facebook group here. If we're looking for things, just be careful with this. That's all. Find a better one, find a different one. That's all I can say. I can't understand, while a child's missing, that this becomes an issue. This is a damn shame. That's kind of one of my thoughts too, Mikey. Like, it's been stated that he doesn't like to be dirty and doesn't like to have dirty hands, like dirty hands, like my son. I can't imagine him leaving the house without shoes on. Then I can agree with that, Mike. Definitely can agree with that. Um, Oh, absolutely, Felicity. It is a lot like that. Like the woman who claimed to survive the Twin Towers and then it was found to be a fraud, right? That's so sad. People have to, yes, she's a big red flag, so stay away from her, guys, while we're looking for him. Caden's the exact same way, Brandy. 100%. Yes, another human diaper rash. These people need to be gone. We're looking for missing children. I don't understand how your mind can allow you as a human being to cause drama and trouble when there's a child that's missing that needs every one of us to look for, him or her. It's insane. Completely. I don't understand it. Go away, people. Leave it alone. Thank you, Mandy, for resending that. I appreciate that, dear. By the way, I take it this is a newer picture of that photo you sent me is a newer picture of Kaylee. Is that right or wrong, Mandy? Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. I didn't have my glasses on. More updated picture, I should say. Thank you, Mandy Joe, as always. Yeah, this is a more updated picture, guys, just for the fun of it, of Kaylee Kinder. What's up, 12 Gauge? Thank you for jumping in. Appreciate you today. Hope you're having a great day. And I'll go back to this again at the end, like I said. Thank you, Mandy Joe, once again. Very nice and awesome of you, as always. Okay. Now, back to where I was. Okay. It looks like JLR put something out that I'm curious about too. So we're gonna be looking at that here soon. Okay. 1 second. Nope, that's old. Sorry. All right, this is 3 hours ago. Trying to find the newest stuff as always to show you guys. No, Michelle, they have not found her yet, unfortunately. Okay.
Patrols are on standby today to help with the search for Sebastian Rogers. Now, there's been no sign of the teen since he disappeared more than a week ago. Then yesterday, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office significantly scaling back their search to focus on the investigative side. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry spoke with one of the volunteer mounted patrols who says he's on call for the time he and his horse are ever needed again.
So you're hoping that every day that you go out there, you're expecting to find something and you're thinking this is the day.
Every day since Tuesday last week, R&M Stables have assisted in the search for missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. But on Monday, authorities announced resources dedicated to search parties would be scaled back to allow for an investigation. The owner of R&M Stables, Ron Chalasta, tells me his service horse, Trooper, and ranch hand Brian Feltz are just waiting for the call from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to get back out and help where they can.
There does come a point, and of course, you want to keep exhausting every possibility. We even covered some trail that we had previously covered.
Riding through creeks, rocky terrain, and people's backyards, being mounted on a horse gave Ron and his team an advantage that people on foot and in ATVs didn't have.
You can get up to those higher elevations where it's very difficult for somebody who's doing that on foot, where ATVs can't get through the brush.
Through an app called Equilab, volunteer-mounted patrols' steps were tracked in their assigned perimeter. Trooper and Ron navigated an estimated total of 37 miles together in the search for Sebastian.
Chief Craddock said, hey, can somebody ride from command center all the way down to Hendersonville Mounted Police Barn? And our horses, Jeff Duran and Brian and I, we were in the water that whole afternoon. And so the banks were saturated. It was a rough go.
Now, with the search efforts scaled back, Ron says the community of Sumner County won't give up on finding Sebastian. In Sumner County,
there are really people behind them, the prayer warriors in our community that are praying for them. That's what you have to stand on. We can never give up hope.
Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
One moment. Almost there, guys. Sorry.
Scott, glad to speak with you again. And I have to believe over the years you've been involved in cases very similar to this.
I've seen this happen time and time again. It's heartbreaking. We're asking what happened because kids just don't disappear in thin air like this.
Scott, as an investigator, what would you be thinking about in this case after 5 days of searching and really no credible signs or sightings for a missing 15-year-old?
Yeah, that's why the investigators are going out. I'm telling you, behind the scenes, they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're scouring the neighborhoods. They're asking for help. Because one of the things we need to rule out, was this an abduction? And this is the number one thing which is on everyone's mind right now. Was this child abducted?
Now, when you say that, at some point law enforcement has to consider not only were they abducted, but was it a stranger? How rare are cases like that?
We don't really see that happen a lot. A lot of times when these abductions happen, it's usually that somebody they know. But now they're trying to rule out everything over here. We can't leave any stones unturned.
Now, toward that end, we saw investigators return to the family home today with dogs, all manner of searching going on. And essentially, when you've exhausted everything else, you know, the area around the home and the neighborhood and the school and all that, do you have to almost go back to the beginning and start again?
Got to start from the beginning. You got it, and then spread out from there. These things sometimes they go on and on. I've been involved with, things that were kidnappings to missing persons. So it takes a lot of effort over here. And everyone's heart's breaking over here. The weather's cold. We've got to track this down.
You have to think about that too. Initially, you think, okay, we'll find them quickly. But as the time goes on, the child has to eat, they need shelter, and all sorts of other questions come up.
Especially with a special needs child. This is every parent's nightmare. And I can tell you right now, there are a lot of law enforcement officers working constantly, tracking down every type of lead.
Retired FBI agent and author Scott Augenbaum. Scott, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts.
Welcome back, See-Through. Great.
Now at 3. Today, law enforcement announced they're scaling back, but the family of Sebastian is still holding on to hope for his safe return. They spoke exclusively with our Holly Thompson earlier today. Holly, live in Hendersonville there at the command center. Oh, Holly, how are they doing?
Mother, Katie, and we listen.
And it's a never-ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop. It won't stop until he walks through the door.
Katie tells us that she woke up that morning and within 3 minutes, she knew Sebastian was not in the house and called 911. They say they have no idea what would have motivated him to leave the house. They say they have been fully cooperating with authorities and know they've also spoken with his biological father and those who know him from school. So we're going to have much more on this story. We're going to be talking to her about what they've been going through, the very latest with the search, also reaction from family. And I even asked them, are they in the clear now? What is the latest with this story? So we'll have much more coming up. But for now, for the latest on the search, I'm going to toss over to Danielle Ledbetter for that part of the story. Danielle.
Yeah, Holly, so you can see that this lot behind me is pretty much empty. This is at the command center. Earlier today, we've seen a lot of first responders leaving this command center. And this is a big difference from what we saw last week. That lot was full with hundreds of first responders all here looking for Sebastian. Now, law enforcement officials told me today that they have thrown everything they possibly can at this search. So we, of course, have told you about the dogs, the horses, the drones, but they also brought in cave specialists and people to search underground and storm drains. Eric Craddock with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office said the decision to scale back did not come lightly. He also did say that they will continue to be committed to finding Sebastian, and there's no indication that he's not alive. Holly.
All right, Danielle with the latest there. Now, much more coming up throughout all our evening shows. Coming up at 4 o'clock, their message for the community. We have lots to get to, but for now, Holly Thompson live here in Hendersonville.
All right, guys, that's pretty much the newest of everything with Sebastian. I'm going to keep looking for anything updating. Big O, mother saw his shoes. Joe, would you instantly know he's gone? Sebastian does not go without shoes. Makes no sense. That's an interesting theory. I see what you're saying, and it does make sense. Florida Baby said, did the mom first say she went to bed at midnight, then change her story? I think they were just a little bit overwhelmed, and they maybe got some things confused. That's all. I don't know yet. But I'm going to continue looking for updates tonight while we're still live with this to be able to give you guys anything more before we leave. There was a vigil, and I'll show that here. What I have of that before we end. I want to move forward, though, to the Madeline Soto case. You guys have followed that with me as well. A lot of strange things that have gone on with that. And I have an even more strange thing again. So, give me a second here. Okay, so this is from 4 hours ago. there's some changes in this. Okay. Now, I know what I've said to you guys about not going at parents of these victims. And I still don't want you guys to do that. But I also did tell you, unless law enforcement does first, and then we have what we have, and that's when we can go at this and look at it in that direction. Okay. Well, this is quite interesting to me, to say the least. And I had a few people that came at me and said, "Hey, do you think that it's possible that it's, the um Maddie Soto's mother could have been involved, because it's hard to believe that she didn't see all this happening." Well, here, let's check this out.
The 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Why prosecutors are now calling for an investigation into this local sheriff, and how the story Madeline's mother provided law enforcement doesn't line up with what investigators know.
We spoke one-on-one with Jennifer Soto last Tuesday. Good afternoon. I'm Darlene Jones.
And I'm Greg Wormuth. At that point, her daughter, Madeline. We begin with a story you'll only see on Channel 9. It's the season of property crimes, but this one goes up. Madeline had been missing for 1 day. She told us that Stephen Stearns, her boyfriend and now the prime suspect in Madeline's death, had taken the teenager to school. She said the last conversation she had with the 13-year-old was the night before. But this report we got a hold of today shows she told deputies she saw her daughter the morning of her disappearance. Channel 9 investigative reporter Shannon Butler has been digging into the details of this case. She joins us live in studio. And Shannon, that's not the only thing you noticed in this new report.
Greg, no one has been charged in Madeline Soto's death, but we do know investigators are looking into who knew what and when. And some of that means looking at those initial interviews of the couple and the ones later on. Sources tell me the statements about the timeline are not consistent. Jennifer Soto told us last week that the last conversation she had with her daughter was about her 13th birthday party the night before Maddie disappeared.
I told her good night, and yeah, that was it.
But according to documents, Sunday night was not the last time Soto saw Maddie. New documents show that Maddie's mom told deputies on February 26th that she saw her daughter getting dressed for school at 8 o'clock that morning, and that her boyfriend then took the teen to school. But since that initial report was taken, we learned from the Orange County Sheriff that Maddie was likely dead earlier than that.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time, and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day.
Channel 9 has been going through statements from Stephen Stearns and Soto, trying to piece together what happened the last few hours of the little girl's life, starting with our interview of the couple. Her mom told us last week,
we dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
But in that same interview, then said,
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. But yeah.
Detectives believe Matt.
She keeps saying we. Then she backs up and says it was him, not her. What is going on with this woman, you guys?
Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because the video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Stearns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Stearns' vehicle, believed to be deceased. Since then, the case has moved to Kissimmee Police, and sources tell us that Soto has been interviewed multiple times by detectives at 2 agencies. And
Now, that interview, now that I'm seeing and hearing this stuff, makes me that bouncy shit that we just saw there. Excuse my language, but because I'm getting irritated now because I've stuck up for this woman. Okay, this bouncy stuff to me, that's nerves, in my opinion. Okay, if you watch it again, look at her face. She seems to be more worried about her boyfriend at that time than she did her daughter. I'm sorry.
Disturbing new details in the case of a teenager found dead in St. Cloud days after being reported missing.
Documents obtained by West 2 today allege that Stefan Stearns, the boyfriend of Madeline Soto's mom, was sexually abusing that teen for nearly 2 years. Haley Crumblehome breaks down what else these documents reveal. Haley.
So according to those documents, law enforcement was able to find some disturbing videos and images on Stearns' phone, despite the fact that he said he accidentally did a factory reset on that phone the day that Madeline disappeared. But like I said, law enforcement were still able to get some significant information off of that phone. They say the pictures and videos they found on it show he had been sexually abusing Madeline since at least August of 2022, when she was just 11. They say the room that could be seen in some of the pictures is a room in the home Madeline shared with her mother and with Stearns. Now, right now, Stearns is being held here in the Osceola County Jail on no bond on charges of sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material. Live in Osceola County, Haley Crumblehome, West 2 News.
All right. Welcome, Duchess. Good to see you here again tonight. Thank you so very much for joining us. I don't think it was him that worked at Disney. I think it was the mother, Doodle. I think they debunked that he worked there. One moment here. Now we have a couple other things. I hope you're doing wonderful tonight as well, Duchess. Thank you so much for being here again. Don't take this personally. You're right. You see the problem, but this has to evolve on its own time. I understand, Micro, but I mean, it's too much. It's just too much anymore. It really is. Way too much. Oh, it's okay, Duchess. No worries with that. Yeah, guys, there's no way that he accidentally reset his phone. Okay? They give you like 3 warnings to allow you to stop doing it before you do it. And I'm sorry if I sound angry tonight. I am a bit angry. I'm just not settling well with any of this stuff. I stood up for this mother and I said, please do not go at this mother, this and that, and everything else. And if they're coming out and saying that, she has possibly knows more than what she's saying, that bothers me. It does. Now, if we find out that it's not true, that's wonderful. But at the same time, like, damn, everybody needs to be held accountable for what is going on in these scenarios. And it's horrific to me. I'm sorry. It really is. It just bugs me to no end. And I see what you're saying, Micro, and I appreciate and respect that. Thank you.
Suspect in the case of Madeline Soto remains in the Osceola County Jail on no bond after refusing to make his first appearance over the weekend. He is currently charged with sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material, but investigators say more charges could be coming. Soto's body was found Friday after she was first reported missing on Monday. Her mother did not know that she was absent from school until she tried to pick her up around 4:30 in the afternoon. As West 2's Megan Mulatto explains, one school board member wants the state to make a change.
Osceola County School Board member Julius Melendez says parents have been asking for information on the school district's policies on absences. This comes after officials say the mother of 13-year-old Madeline Soto, who was found dead in St. Cloud, didn't find out Madeline hadn't shown up to school in Orange County.
And this is what I was complaining about the other day. The phone call, like I said, when my child is not at school, we get an automated phone call that will call us within 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I think it's 15 minutes of when the child is in school. And it goes to my phone and my wife's phone. It goes to both of us, okay? So this here, there should have been a phone call way sooner than this. And then it could have been looked into way sooner, okay?
County last Monday until she tried to pick her up at around 4:30 in the afternoon.
For every hour to us may seem like nothing, but to a parent who's lost a child, every hour feels like a full day.
Officials with Osceola County Schools say they notify elementary school parents of absences at 10 a.m., middle school parents at 11 a.m., and high school parents at 5 p.m.
High school students, they have a tendency to dual enroll at local colleges. They do
And the thing with this that makes no sense is, why would you call after the school day is over? That makes no sense. Okay? It makes no sense. So if your child's in high school, they're going to be home anywhere between 1 to 3 p.m., depending on where you're at. You know what I mean? So if there's a child that's missing, you're not calling that home till 5 p.m. Anything can have happened at that point in time. If you call within minutes of that child being in school, like what happens here in my area, you're on top of that. You guys were here with me the day that my son didn't show up on the bus after school that day. Some of you guys were. And I went nuts, and I immediately went into the phone and started calling. I put everything on hold I was doing and started calling. Where is he? Why is he not on the bus? This and that. It was his mistake because he thought he told me something and he didn't. Okay. It's fine. That's the difference. But finding out at 5 p.m. that your child was not in school is not going to help. It's too late. That's too late. Right. I agree, Felicity. That's a problem as well. Mike says that area, by the way, Mike's in Florida, you guys. It's so overcrowded, that may be the reason. And that's understandable. Then they need to work that out, Mikey. That's their responsibility. They need to figure out something that they can do to work that out. That's all I can say with that. Who makes those rules? That's a good point, Duchess. That's a good question. And they need to look at that and say, okay, now here's what happened. This scenario with Madeline, I don't know about it being prevented, but it could have been found out faster, maybe. But in future circumstances, maybe it could be prevented, if that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So that is what I mean by this. This is a really important thing right here. This one little thing is really important to this, you guys. And it just, things like this is what bugs me.
Internships, they have, if they're a senior, they've finished all their credits and only need to take 1 or 2 classes and then they can go home. So their schedules vary a lot more.
Officials with Orange say the district considers a student absent when they miss more than half of the school day. The final cutoff for teachers to submit attendance is at 3:30 p.m. Once attendance is finalized in the system, a report is run and the message is...
See, that's too late. That's too late to me. I think if you've missed your first period class, okay, which is where they take roll, then you're late. That's when that call needs to be made to inform the parents that your child's not in school. Okay? 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's too late. I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. I don't know what the point in that is. She was 13. She's not a senior, right? So it was still earlier. It's still too late. You know what I mean? The timing that they said for them was elementary school's 10, middle school's 11, high school's 5. Okay, so even then at 11 a.m., that's still too late. If she is not in her first class of the day, they take roll, first period. Let's see, she was 13, so she was probably 8th grade. That would be middle school. Okay, so you should know at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., the parents should know. Not at 11, because maybe it could have been prevented or something could have been. I don't think in this case, but I'm just saying for future reference, it could. That's all. It just, that kind of thing. Those are the things that bother me. I'm sorry.
Varying start times across grade levels. They say it's also dependent on how many absences there are on a given day. Volusia says they notify elementary parents at around 10 and secondary parents at around 5 or 6 p.m. Melendez says the school districts aren't to blame for what happened, but he says a vague state statute that does not give districts a time frame to notify parents should change.
You know, that very first hour is when you have the highest chance of recovery. And so every hour that goes past that, you're diminishing the opportunity to be able to recover that student or recover that person.
We reached out to the Kissimmee Police Department for an update on the case. They've declined an interview for now, saying the work continues on this case. That is the main focus right now. In Osceola County, Megan Mulatto, WESH 2 News.
Melendez says there is a policy in place about parents dropping students off on school property rather than nearby. He's urging parents to follow that policy to help them better protect their students. In regards to the status of the case against Stearns, the state attorney's office sent us a statement saying, in part, quote, the investigating law enforcement agency is tasked with preparing a case and sending its findings and recommended charges to our office once its investigation is complete, to initiate the prosecution process. Our office is diligently working with the investigation agency on every aspect of this investigation to prepare the best case possible.
Sorry. So, I mean, we definitely have some issues that need dealt with to help to make these changes to keep our children safer than what they have been. Okay, we need to pay more attention. And I'm not saying we aren't. Okay, everybody needs to. Um, the scenario that's going on with Sebastian Rogers, the I can't say every scenario is not going to be the same, you guys. We know that, okay? But for everything that we can do, it just needs to be. We need to be the ones to be the answer. That's all I can say. I know I'm doing everything I can do because I'm just not, none of this is acceptable. There's too much of this happening now. It's every single day. Every single day. It's insane to me. I don't understand why, So, one second here. Okay, that's I have something here I was going to show you guys too, but oh yeah, here we go. Hold on. Right. Sorry, guys. And then we have a couple little things on Elijah Vu. There's not a lot of updates, and that's what bothers me. That's why I get upset because we don't get that many updates because there's not anything happening, and it's not good.
And is behind bars. Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Stefan Stearns, the boyfriend of Maddie Soto's mother, could be facing even more charges very soon in her death and disappearance. Right now, he faces some sex-related charges. Maddie had just celebrated her 13th birthday, days before she was reported missing on February 26th after she didn't show up for school. Deputies launched a massive search for Maddie in the greater Orlando area, scouring the area on horseback. Then Orange County Sheriff John Mina said the story they were told when Maddie was reported missing began to unravel.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day.
The sheriff then spoke about things they saw Stearns doing near a dumpster at the family's apartment complex.
We have video evidence that shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster.
A short time later, the sheriff said Stearns returned to the family's apartment with Maddie's dead body in the car. Stearns is charged with sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material. The sheriff said Stearns tried to delete that evidence from his phone.
And if you put this timeline together with some of the other things we've heard, some of this doesn't match up now, okay? That's why I'm a little bit irritated with the situation with her mother. I'm hoping and praying that there was just a misunderstanding or something like that, and this woman did not know these things were going on, because that's just not good. That is so wrong. It's bad enough that she couldn't trust her stepfather, but to not be able to trust her own mother, here we are back in a Quentin Simon situation again, or Eliza Vu again. These children need to be able to trust their parents, you guys. Summer Wells, all of these cases, you guys, it just doesn't make any sense anymore. We have to be the parents and the support and protection, and it's not happening. Welcome, Heather.
And that the crimes committed on the phone actually took place at the home where Maddie lived with her mom and Stearns. This interview with Fox 35 out of Orlando shows Maddie's mom, Jen Soto.
If you guys watch this interview again, after we watched this the other day, and I had a whole different feeling about this. Now, after seeing what I saw, other things that I didn't pick up, Felicity was picking these things up. Heather was picking these things up. A lot of people were like, wait a minute. And of course, I'm always the one that I'm there for the parents because I can understand as a parent what it would feel like possibly, but damn, I guess I need to look closer.
Talking about her daughter being missing. In it, she says, "We dropped Maddie off at a church near her school." Stearns is seen lurking in the background. Right now, Stearns faces those 2 sex-related charges, but more charges are likely coming since he's the prime suspect in Maddie's disappearance. Joe Jackalone is a retired cold case sergeant with the NYPD and also host of True Crime with the Sarge. Joe, your first thoughts on this case? It's absolutely horrible, and the mom's boyfriend being taken into custody.
Yeah, it's just another unfortunate account about exactly what's going on with some of the families that are happening in the United States. We're seeing a number of these cases recently. Each one's worse than the next. And I think that, protecting our children and protecting the elderly are the number 1 and 2 goals of society. And we need to start doing a better job.
Maddie had just turned 13,
Absolutely.
4 days before she was reported missing. Her mom went on television, was talking to Fox 35 down there in Orlando and said, "We dropped Maddie off at the church near her school." She's putting herself with Stefan Stearns, who the Orange County Sheriff says is the prime suspect in Maddie's disappearance. We expect him to face additional charges. So what is your mind? What do you think is going on with mom there, that she's putting herself with Stefan Stearns, dropping off Maddie?
Well, the only 2 scenarios is that she's either trying to protect her boyfriend or that she is just under a lot of pressure, and just, the whole thing about her daughter missing could be in another, another dimension, so to speak.
Which is
where
what
she's
I
just so
thought.
upset she doesn't realize exactly what she's saying. So listen, as from the investigative standpoint, everything and anything is on the table. We are victimized by someone we know most of the time. I think investigators will keep, plugging along, looking for evidence in this case in order to make sure that the proper person or persons get charged.
Joe, something that you talk a lot about sometimes is video surveillance. It's everywhere these days. And Sheriff John Mina of the Orange County Sheriff's Office said they had surveillance videos showing Stefan Stearns at the dumpster at the family's apartment complex that day, and that he was dumping things in there. They later find Maddie's backpack and her school-issued laptop in that dumpster. Plus, they say they have video showing him coming back to the apartment complex, and Maddie is in the vehicle, but he said she was already dead. So he's driving around with Maddie, according to what he is seeing, with her dead in the car. And then this guy, Stearns, goes on TV saying he blames himself for this. He's got tears in his eyes and things like that. Your thoughts on that?
Yes, video surveillance and cell phone records, right? So we see them play a big role in this case. But yes, the video surveillance is something that law enforcement must be looking for in just about every one of these cases. It's pretty damning evidence when you have the video of him discarding these items, knowing full well that, Maddie's not coming back. So the issue that comes down to is they have enough of the circumstantial evidence to be starting to look at him in regards to what happened to Maddie. And, in regards to what he says on the interview, it's important. Like, you watch the words that people use. If you see them, speak about people in the past tense and everything like that, you need to be, keep an eye out for certain words that are used.
They found evidence, according to the sheriff, on Stearns's phone. He's innocent until proven guilty, obviously, but they used this to take him into custody before her body was found. We assume that other charges will be filed against him once maybe some testing comes back. I assume that an autopsy was conducted on Maddie over the weekend. We have some calls out to the police department down there. But they said that they found images. These were images of sexual activity involving young people that occurred at the family's apartment. And in the charges, there's one that's a child younger than 12, and then there's one for a minor between 12 and 17.
So that was an issue I had when I had heard that. I wasn't clearly listening to that until earlier this morning, and as I was going back through reviewing some stuff, that tells me that there's a big possibility that there's somebody else on that phone that he assaulted as well. What? That's not okay. Is there somebody else that's going to be coming forward now? I'm just curious, because how many lives has this piece of garbage ruined? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of curiously looking for that to be happening possibly in the future here. And if that's the case, good Lord. Okay. Good Lord. That's insane to me.
So they found basically some type of sexual, imagery on his phone involving children. And that's what they used to hold him. And he's being held without bail.
Very possible.
So what would your concern be? Because this is a guy who I guess was dating Maddie's mother, but I'm sure he's dated other people's mothers in the past.
Yeah, so just from experience and just from what we know about, individuals who partake in some of these things, they need to find out every woman that he's had a relationship with that had children, specifically around this age frame. It's important that they reach
Good
out
call,
to them.
guys.
I'm sure
Thank
they
you.
have
I'm
already
hoping
put
that
out
it's
some
just one
information
person.
regarding that. And hopefully that,
That's bad
maybe
enough
some
as
of the
it
women
is.
that had relationships with him saw his picture on TV and then contact the police and let them know it's something. And you know what? They should probably get their kids examined, make sure that everything is okay with them also. These are disturbing things that happen, but you know what? It appears as if the police department, in my opinion, went for that warrant for the cell phone to try to track him, and then they found this in, by total accident. And by holding him on this charge, he's not going anywhere, which is a good thing, so that they can investigate the case and they don't have to worry about him running away and start building his case against him for Madeline Soto.
And the sheriff said they also found evidence that Stearns tried to delete this material from his phone. So that almost makes it look even worse.
Yes, deleting anything that you have on a crime like this is like throwing bleach on a crime scene, right? So this is, even though it's electronic, shows some intent to try to make this go away. But unfortunately for people who try to do this, it leaves a record still or a trace behind that. And listen, this is some pretty solid evidence against him for whatever those cases. They're gonna probably have to identify who those victims are too. So the police have their work cut out for them. And this is another disturbing case that we've seen now in the United States against children. It should be frightening for every parent out there.
Another thing that I found on his Facebook page, and I don't know if this is accurate, but I can't imagine that he lied on his Facebook page about his job history, but he listed himself as a cast member at Disney World. So it kind of makes you think, if he was working at Disney at some point in time, my God, he may have had a lot of access to children.
Yeah, these are the things that will keep investigators up at night.
That's what scares me, because if this guy worked as a character at Disney, Goofy, Mickey, kids will go directly to one of them and trust them because of who they are. That gives him an open door. Okay, that's horrific to me. Absolutely horrific to me. The thought of that just makes me disgusted. And I'm sure they're going to, Heather. I think they already have, because it's come out that he never worked for them. If he did, they're gonna have to cover that, okay? But I pray to God nothing else happened in that sense. Do you know what I mean?
Night, right? So they're going to have to try to track that down. If he was an employee, who he had contact with, if there was any complaints against him in his personnel file. All of these things are going to be part of the record that investigators are going to have to do. So fortunately for them, they have time. in order to try to track down this information. It's going to be a while before they can get back some of these records.
Yes,
Right now,
Heather.
they're, like you said, waiting for the autopsy, and I don't imagine that they waited any longer than they had to. I probably think the autopsy was done within a few hours.
Yeah,
after
Mike,
the
I know what
remains
you're
were
talking
recovered.
about. I
Because
agree.
the longer you go, as you know, the more difficult it is. For instance, looking for
Hey,
forensic
Jen.
evidence, it could last anywhere from 96 to 120 something hours. But they want to make sure that they can be able
Now,
to
that would
obtain
be a
any
huge
physical evidence
problem
that
for
might have
them.
been found, any body fluids and what have you. So I don't think they wasted much time.
Especially because she was found out in a wooded area. And we know it can happen, but it's at least, it's Florida, so it's warm down there right now, but it's at least not the summer months where it would be much hotter. So maybe some of that evidence could have been preserved. We'll just have to wait and see what comes out from that. He waived his court appearance, his first court appearance. So his attorney appeared on his behalf, and he is being held without bail. He's innocent until proven guilty, but I think we fully expect additional charges to be filed in this case. The police in Kissimmee say that this is an ongoing investigation.
Awesome, Heather.
Jack Alone, host of True Crime with the Sarge, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Engineer.
And that's it for this.
Welcome, Shazza. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you very much. All right, guys, moving on to Elijah Vu. The 3-year-old little boy has been missing for quite a while. But both his parents are actually sitting in jail. The caretaker that last was seen with him is in jail as well. Thank the Lord. But there still is no Elijah. We still have not found him. There was a newsreel that dropped earlier this morning, I want to say it was, where they had said there's some new clues and scenarios going on with that case. So, of course, we're going to talk about that as well and see what has come up with that, guys. And then I might, we're going to talk about something else here, but I'm going to give you guys a chance to pop up here and give your thoughts on all this too. Holly, welcome. Good to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. April, QG, you as well. All right, guys.
To learn more about a vehicle of interest in the investigation into 3-year-old Elijah Vu's disappearance.
And this is the latest in the search for Elijah, reported missing 2 weeks ago today. Elijah, about 3 feet tall, weighs between 45 and 50 pounds and has brown hair and brown eyes.
Emily Roberts live in Two Rivers with a first alert update on the investigation. Emily, how can people help those investigators?
Tammy Emerson, if you have surveillance cameras or video doorbells, the police department wants you to check for that certain vehicle as soon as you can. So take a look at this here. This is what you'll want to be looking for. It is a 1997 Nissan Altima. It is beige with a plate starting with the letter A and ending with the number 0. Law enforcement has the car right now, but they are still asking for your help finding any videos and pictures of it. Two Rivers police say to check for the Nissan on cameras from February 19th between 2 and 9 p.m., whether or not you live in the Two Rivers area. Another way you can help, Elijah's family community searches pick back up tomorrow, but they do look a little bit different. So this is important. You might want to take a picture of your screen. One search leaves at
If anybody is able to assist with that, they're asking for volunteers. These are the times. Tomorrow, starting tomorrow, 9:30 to 1, Thursday, Friday, and throughout the weekend, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. is what the searches are going to be. And they're welcoming anybody that's welcome or that is willing to volunteer to search in that scenario. So, my understanding, Shazza, is yes, that they have searched all the neighbors' homes in that area for Sebastian.
9:30 in the morning and another at 1 in the afternoon. Home base is still the Mikado Theater. People are coming from across the state to try searching, like one man from Green Bay.
To just try to stick together as much as it can, and we need people like this. I mean, it's today's society is a little different than 20 years ago, so I mean, more the better. I mean, it's every community should be just coming together and helping out as much as they can.
Even if you can't make it to a search, you can still help by checking those cameras. And if you find anything you think investigators should see, they ask you to upload it on a special Department of Justice website. To make it easier for you, we have it posted. You just go to WBAY.com/links. Live in Two Rivers, Emily Roberts, Action 2 News.
All right. Well, that's interesting to know. So they do have a vehicle of interest that they're looking at right now, which is awesome. All right. This is another update on that as well.
Missing 3-year-old Two Rivers boy Elijah Vu is pausing its community search parties today and tomorrow to give everyone a chance to recharge. As we first alerted you, an Amber Alert was issued for Elijah in Two Rivers February 20th. He weighs between 45 and 50 pounds and has brown hair and brown eyes. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information that could lead to Elijah or to the arrest of the people involved in his disappearance. That number on your screen there, 844-267-6648, is the number you need to call if you have any information. Emily Roberts is in Two Rivers. She says support for the little boy continues to pour in.
People right here throughout the state, the country, even the
Yes,
globe,
it is.
all sending love to Elijah and his family. Now, more than 16,000 people are members of the group Find Elijah Vu discussion, and about 9,000 people are part of the group Where is Elijah Vu? Take a look at this video from our First Alert drone. Our crew following members of the group Fox Cities Backpackers along Highway 10 around Reedsville and Whitelaw as they search for Elijah. It's Jenna Benjamin's first time joining a search party, and she says everyone should jump in if they're able to.
Do it. Yeah, if you've got the time, do it, because they need all the help they can get. The community has their back, and we'll keep looking and keep up the hope.
Elijah's aunt, Linda Vu, posting a message online. She says in part, quote, "My family and I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the volunteers, businesses, food, and monetary donations. Thank you for your ongoing support and your outpouring love for Elijah. We are grateful for your time, energy, and talents. Without you, we will not be able to fulfill our mission," end quote. In her post, she says search parties are meeting again at 9:30 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon starting Wednesday at the Mikado Theater. And anyone is welcome to help look for Elijah. In Two Rivers, Emily Roberts, Action 2 News.
Those are the newest updates with his case, guys. Very sad. Very, very sad. So, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, but over the summer, towards the end of the summer, this past summer, I kind of went a little nuts. I realized that Ohio is kind of a bad place where I'm from. Heather's here. A few of us are here, okay? There are so many children missing in the state of Ohio. It's unbelievable. Okay. 5 months ago, I think it was 5 months ago, I went live at 11 o'clock at night when I got a statistic sent to me. It's beyond, it's crazy. Okay. 1,000 kids reported missing in Ohio just this past year. No lie. It is unbelievable, you guys. And most of it is in my area. I live in the Northeast Ohio region. Okay. I couldn't believe it, which is what started making me get as in tune with what's going on in the world right now with this. Okay. Because it's happening right here in my own home. Okay. Right in my own backyard. It scares the shit out of me. Hold on here. This is just an update to that, you guys, to show for those of you that weren't around. Exactly, Mikey. That's a fact. And I'll show you. Hold on a minute here. A lot of them were minority children. The police chief at that time tried to justify it by saying that a lot of them are runaways. I don't care. I don't care. That makes it worse because you know what I mean? It's crazy. I contacted Cleveland Metro Police just to let them know what I do and that I'm willing to help this, and they blew me off, basically. There's not a lot we can do, sir. We can't control runaways. That's what they told me. I'm here offering my services. I speak to thousands of people on a daily basis via the internet. I can do something. No, don't worry about it. That's what I was told. And I think it was back in August. No, it was July. I think I remember it being pretty warm out. I think it was July or August. It is disturbing. Party of 5. Somebody I just saw brought it up. Yeah, Shaz, right there. Within a 2-week period, 40 of them were missing in 2 weeks. And they were all younger children, quite a few of them. So it doesn't make sense to me, you guys. And it's like, why are we not sitting on this? Okay.
The children are runaways, or whether or not they get up and involved in drugs or gangs or some other violent crimes, or they were taken against their will, but there's no evidence to show that. There's no Amber Alerts or anything like that. But it is an alarming trend for this time of year for sure.
That was the guy that I spoke to. Very alarming, isn't it? Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Mama Bear. So this is Stern's a screenshot in regards to that, I think. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on. Hold up. Thank you, Mama Bear. Audition, performers, rehearsal, facility, wardrobe. April 2nd of 2024. Okay. I see. So that's not happened yet. Well, it ain't going to now. Thank God. Gene Anderson, welcome. Thank you, Mama Bear, for that. Much appreciated. Okay. So, now to show you guys after what I had done think it was July and August about that. This is just a real quick up after that, and I'm going to get into something that's going on in Florida as well. 1 second here to show you. And Heather's right. Ohio is considered a hub. Okay, it's horrific, but it's true. Enough 5 months ago as well.
If you're sitting on information of my family or anyone's family here today at an event, you're just as guilty.
Please, for any bit of information, more than 97,000 people are still actively missing in the state of Ohio. Today, 10 TV talked with families and friends of some of these people to share their stories.
He's still loved and he's still missed, and we're still fighting to try to find out what happened to him.
Judy Rafferty has been looking for her son for nearly 17 years.
Now, this includes what we're looking at here as adults too, but did you hear the number? 97,000 people in the state of Ohio alone.
Andy Chapman went missing in late 2006 from the Hilltop neighborhood in Columbus. Her search for him hasn't ended, just like the other families at Saturday's Missing Persons Day event in Columbus. Photos of missing friends and family staked into the ground in front of the Columbus Police Academy, a symbolic reminder that someone is still looking.
You know, you have like your dad there forever and then he's just gone.
Danny Fount went missing in 2019, and his family is still looking for answers. Everyone there was still looking for answers. Columbus Police, the Bureau of Criminal Investigations, and several support services were there, offering what resources they could to people just wanting to bring someone home. But it's also a time to come together.
It broke me down because it's a family that hugged another mother and said, this is a club that we don't want to be in, but unfortunately we're in. And that is very sad. That is very sad to say.
Families Saturday say the unanswered question of what happened takes an emotional toll, and the support of others helps ease that pain and drives them forward in the search for answers.
I just pray that all these people that are here today will get closure, that their loved one that's missing will find closure, and they'll be able to move on.
And let's look at the numbers over the years. The Ohio Attorney General's office says in 2021, a total of 19,000 missing person cases were filed in just last year. That number rose to more than 20,500. That's more than 1,600 case increases in Ohio. And coming up tomorrow on Face the State, we ask Ohio's Attorney General, Dave Yost, about what his office is doing to help provide answers and closure for families. That's all tomorrow morning, starting at 11:30 during Face the
Okay, so that was just a little something to show you that that's how bad it is around here. Just here, just this state, okay? And a lot of these missing persons are children, guys. Like I told you, 40 in 2 weeks, 1,000 in a year. 1,000 in a year, guys. 1,000 missing children gone in a year. To where? To where? It's not acceptable at all. Okay. Now I'm going to show you this one. This is from 9 months ago. 9 months. Okay. And this is just for the year of 2022. And again, this is only in Ohio, you guys. I want you to take, granted, I understand that Ohio is listed as a hub state, but just take into effect, there's a few other states that are like Ohio, but put them all together after you see this number. This is for the year of 2022. And they put this up 9 months ago, okay? Ohio's missing children gradually rose in 2022. 20,617 people reported missing in Ohio last year. 15,555 of them are children. For 2022, no way. No, guys.
And more than 15,000 of them were children, which is up about 73% from. A new report suggests that the number of Ohio's missing children gradually rose in 2022. According to the state's annual Missing Children Clearinghouse report from the Attorney General's office, over 20,000 people who were reported missing in Ohio last year, and more than 15,000 of them were children, which is up about 73% from 2021. Now, the majority of the cases involved a runaway where a child left home without permission and stayed somewhere else overnight. Of the children at the center of 11 Amber Alerts and 4 endangered missing child alerts released by the state last year, each child was found and safely returned. And of course, for more on this report, you can find it on our website. From the NBC4i Digital Center, I'm Rachel Ramsey.
It's just, it's unacceptable. I'm sorry. I know I'm going on and on and on, guys, but I can't get past it. So to go forward into the last thing we were looking at tonight, most of us are familiar with who Mr. Grady Judd is down in Florida. He should be the sheriff in every one of our states. Every one of our states, counties, all of them. He should. He's the best, in my opinion. Thank you, Felicity. Hold on a minute. Okay, thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. All right, guys, pay attention to this. Down in Florida. This is just as of 12 hours ago.
With us here today. This is going to take a few minutes because it was a very large operation, but I want to start by introducing you to some of our colleagues that joined us this time with this operation. We could not do this without our counselors, so I want to start with them. One More Child, Jody Domingue, Heartland for Children, Caden Parchment, and Salaya Free.
Amen, Michelle. I wish he was in every county, in every state throughout the nation. This man is amazing. I idolize this guy. I support everything he does. I don't care what it is.
Freedom, Sarah Batchelder. In addition to that, this operation was on the west side of the county in the city of Lakeland, and we were assisted by several police departments. A special thanks goes to the Lakeland Police Department. We have Assistant Chief Pacheco here with us today. They donated a lot of resources for us this time, and it's really appreciative. And the support by all of these police departments was over the top. Kansas City Police Department's represented today by Detective Dominez, Davenport Chief Steve Parker's with us. We also have the Auburndale Police Department with us, Detective Kevin Seymour, Lake Hamilton Chief Mike Teague, and the Winter Haven Fire Rescue was with us, Hunter Hart. And
absolutely, Heather.
If things got real hot, they'd put the fire out, but I imagine they would have if it had happened. But it's important to point out that in this county, we don't operate in silos as separate law enforcement agencies. We're all friends. We all respect and love each other, and we all work together. And you're going to see the outcome when you have great police agencies work with you. I'm going to give you a lot of information quickly, and then the reporters can narrow in on whatever they're interested in. 228 arrests, 66 prostitutes, 50 Johns, and 12 others. This time we identified 13 potential victims of human trafficking. But I want to make this statement today. In 1 year, we have identified 58 potential victims of human trafficking in 1 year with these operations. What's significant about that? That is the most ever we've been able to identify. And why were we able to identify this many potential victims of human trafficking? Because of these ladies that's standing with us. We do something that most police agencies run from if they do these kinds of operations at all. We embed our counselors with us from the absolute very beginning of the operation, even before. They are every bit as important to our investigation as our detectives that go undercover and in many times risk their lives. So I want to once again thank our social service organizations for joining us from the beginning. 42 of the 228 that we arrested were from Polk County. Now, those of you from Polk County know better. We talk about this, we don't hide it. And if you don't know about it, you obviously live under a rock. So you had to learn the hard way. But for the rest of you, pay attention, because this is not the last operation. We'll have more, and we'll give you the opportunity to be arrested if you're stupid enough to show up. That's a guarantee. In addition to that, 42 of these folks were married. And I've got some quotes from wives that I'll give you in a little.
Gotcha, Shaz. I've got a feeling, and it won't go away, that Sebastian is very near to his home and keep getting someone who they never think to proper search the house, that they are holding him there. Can't get it out of here. Okay, I got you, Shaz. Thank you.
A little bit. And some people say, well, this is not a big deal, but at the end of this operation, I'm going to talk about the 21 illegal aliens we arrested in much more detail. Criminal charges. Oh, it's a low-level misdemeanor, and these aren't violent people. These people had a previous history of 2,038 arrests. Did you hear what I said? These people are criminals in their own right, most of them, not all of them. 879 previous felonies, 1,159 previous misdemeanors. We dealt with 17 firearms this time by 15 different
Gotcha, Shaz.
44 people brought narcotics. 12 people came and had outstanding warrants. We appreciate that. They came to us. We didn't have to chase them down. One was a commercial pilot. We had a branch of the military and teachers, and I'm going to talk specifically about those in a minute. But the comments. One wife sent the detective a message the next day. She said, "Good one, guys. Thank you for helping me in my marriage. Keep doing what you're doing." One John said he worked overtime today and he just needed to blow off some steam. Well, we gave him a chance to also cool his heels in the county jail. Another one said, well, I came here because, I'm going to be incapacitated for 10 days. I got to turn myself in Monday at the county jail for 10 days. The judge sentenced me to previously. Wait, you don't have to turn yourself in. We're going to give you a ride and some additional criminal charges to go through it. One John who was married said, well, sometimes you just need to see something different. Well, he did. He saw a different woman, but she was undercover. Then he got to see the jail. I would hate to see what it's like at his house when his wife, who's obviously going to watch this, finds out that he just needed to see something different. And then there was a John that was married for 26 years. He said his wife was at the Hard Rock Casino. and he was at, y'all thought I was going to say something, but I'm not. But it didn't turn out to be the Hard Rock Casino. It did turn out to be the Rock, known as Grady Town or the county jail. One John was married. He said he came here to play golf. Well, I got to tell you, I've heard it called a lot of stuff, but never playing golf. And there was no hole in one. One John said he left his wife and 5 children at home. One prostitute said she'd only been here 2 days. She was here from New York to make money. And instead she came to New York on vacation, and she's going to leave here on probation. But let's talk about specific people real quickly as I go through this. Here is, first we'll start with our athletes. This is Edwin Madrino. He's 54. He's from New York City, New York. He's self-employed, according to him, as a volleyball tutor. He used to be a coach at Monroe Junior College in New York. We don't know if he's still a coach or not. He said he tutors children as young as middle school. He came for sex with a lady. He wanted to pay $150. Oh, by the way, in January of this year, he was arrested in Hillsborough County for what? The same thing. He's married, but his wife's proud of him. 2 arrests in 2 counties in Central Florida. I don't know if this gets to New York City or not, but we'll put it on social media and she'll have all options. Benjamin Johnson, he's from Plant City. He's a golf pro. He's also an athlete at Eaglebrook in Lakeland. That's right. He's PGA specialized teacher and coach. And he came for sex with a female, $150. He has a criminal history of cannabis and dealing in stolen property. So he can teach you to play golf, or he can teach you how to deal in stolen property or how to get caught at dealing in stolen property. Then there's Wilman Santa Cruz, not to be confused with Santa Claus. He's 50. He says he's a triathlon coach, a certified triathlon coach, and he's a triathlon athlete. You know what's strange about this? The dude showed up with meth. I mean, does that help you perform better when you're a triathlon athlete? Or do triathlon athletes, who you would think would be the kind of people who took care of their body, was using meth and seeking out the interest of a lady of the evening? Then there's surgery.
I do this on purpose, you guys, when he does stuff like this, because he's putting these pictures up, okay, and giving names. And I want this all over the place because these people are involved in trafficking, prostitution, all of this stuff, and they need to be seen all over the place. So remember their faces, okay? Please do, and listen to the names if you can.
Sergio Collins. He currently is a progressive insurance claim adjuster, but he's married. I bet his wife's not happy. And he says on his LinkedIn page that he's a middle school football coach at Lakeland Christian School. They said, no way, he is not a coach at Lakeland Christian Schools. So when you're doing your press, don't look him up online and take Sergio at his word. The school says absolutely not. He thought he was going to come have sex. But then, of course, if you're going to have coaches and teachers, you might as well have a straight up teacher. This is Gene Ahume. He's 26 from Auburndale. He's a teacher at New Beginnings High School, where he teaches math and science. He came to have sex. He called it a quick visit for $60. Well, since he's able to teach math, he can figure out that it didn't add up when he came to this time. Then Brandy Barnes. She's an IT specialist at Tampa General Hospital. We're going to get to the medical world for a minute. You know, we did the coaches, we did the teachers. She has a criminal history of meth arrest, and
Yeah, Duchess, this guy is amazing. He does have a bit of a sense of humor, but I mean, you got to with what he does. He's an absolute legend in my mind. And that's when he does these things. I do this, like I said, purposely to get this projected out everywhere that anybody's looking. So I wish everybody in America was like this man. This guy is amazing.
Agreed to provide sex to an undercover for 1 hour. Okay. Then this is Luxon Jean Brinville. He's 38. He's married. He's in the medical field. He's a RN, a registered nurse at Manatee Springs Nursing Home. He wanted to have sex. He has a criminal history of DUI. So you can still work as a RN if you get drunk and drive. I'm interested to see if they're going to do anything to his license for a morals act of trying to have sex. We'll find out. Luis Navarro. He's from Puerto Rico. He's 61. He's a veterinarian. He's retired from the USDA. He came over to have sex, but his veterinarian license is still current. Maybe I can talk the judge into putting him in the county jail because we always need help with spay and neuters at animal control. This is Tracon Giles. He's from Tampa. We're going to the military now. He's a staff sergeant in the Air Force. He came for sex. And he said, well, he's done this before about 6 months ago. He doesn't learn very fast.
I can't remember right now, Shaz, but we will look that up, to be honest. We will check it out. Thank you for this, too. Everything you're saying. I appreciate it, Shaz. No worries, Duchess. No worries at all. I appreciate you being here and for your support so very much. Absolutely, Miss Sherry. This guy is amazing.
I can't believe the Air Force would have a slow learner, but I guess they do. And then there's Jaden Hall. He's 19. He's scheduled to begin his Air Force training in May. And oh my goodness, he had a meltdown. This can't happen to me. This can't happen to me. I'm going into the Air Force. Well, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Who knows? And then there's Brandon Bush. He's active Air Force as well. Air Force was the only branch of the service we caught this, or Air Force wannabes. He's scheduled at MacDill. He's an airman first class. He's not only in the military, but he's a military police officer. So since we talked about military and he's a military police officer, let's get to our law enforcement officer. Y'all Kusi, he's 23. He used to be a detention deputy for me. We fired him when he was arrested in Orange County on February the 9th. No, I take that back. He resigned before we got around to firing him. And then we arrested him again on February the 23rd. So on the 9th, he got arrested in Orange County and resigned. On the 23rd, we arrested him again. And he said, hey, is this a felony now that I'm arrested the second time? He didn't pay attention in the police academy because he hasn't been convicted yet.
Not yet, Elser. We're still looking. Still looking.
Yet. So while we were interviewing him, and we go, like, dude, what are you doing? You went from being a stellar employee to committing morals crimes, and it's 2 in a month. He said, I got a problem. No kidding. You got a big problem. Then there's Alex Everett. He's 34. He says he's on disability. He doesn't work, so that we're paying him to do things like have sex. He called it a quick visit. In his car, we found cocaine, fentanyl, cannabis, a gun. He picked up an armed trafficking and cocaine and fentanyl charge in addition to his misdemeanor soliciting charge. Oh, he's got a criminal history of robbery, fleeing, armed trafficking, and he spent 8.5 years in prison for some of those violent things. He says he's on disability. He's not disabled, folks. He's able to commit crime. And if you're able to commit crime, you ought to be able to go to work. He just doesn't like to work, obviously. And then there's Joseph DeBello. He's 46. He's from Wildwood. He's married. He's a plumber. He also said, let me see if I can find it here. He also said that he's a pagan. He's a member of an outlaw motorcycle group. Now, he said a lot of things, you know. They said he, by the way, he was super nice. He's a relatively new member of the Pagans. And he explained all of this. He was very proud of his outfit. They call it colors. See, we asked him about this, and he said, well, because I have this safety pin here, we thought maybe it was for big underwear or something. He said, when you have it like this, you're sending a message to all the other different motorcycle gangs that you're just passing through and you're peaceful and you don't want any problem. So he had his diaper pin, so he didn't want any problems, but he got problems. But he told our undercover, you see, there's rules about this jacket. The rule is that, well, no one is supposed to touch this jacket. Okay, but the member, you see, no one. And you must turn the jacket inside out to hang it up. We chose not to do that too. Why we're not touching it. He said that his wife was going to really be mad. And he used other words. Well, we called her. And guess what? He was right. She was really mad. And I bet the Pagans are really mad because, see, he's not been a member but just a few months. And here now he's disparaged them. And the cops have one of their jackets. And they've been handling it. And, you know, we didn't hang it up backwards or any of the other rules that they have. But, hey, Joseph, I don't know how well you do plumbing business, but you don't do very well at following the rules with your outlaw motorcycle gang. I'm going to go over this really quick. These two guys are brothers. Omar's 16, Caleb's 17. They came down from Wesley Chapel, which is in Pasco County, and guess what? They came down to rob us at 16 and 17. We saw them slinking in the hallway, listening through the door. They set up the deal, but it just wasn't right. They were dressed all in black. They had their face covered. And when we took them down at their car, they had a BB gun that looked like a real gun. That could have gone really bad for them. But instead, they're just charged with soliciting and a bunch of other stuff. Oh, by the way, they have a criminal history for burglary and larceny out of Hillsborough County just recently. They're juveniles. We're going to see how the system deals with them to get them in line so they don't end up with the rest of their life ruined. But before I turn it over to my colleagues here, they worked with us to make this happen. And what this is, and I want everybody to see it clearly, federal policy drives illegal immigrant crime and victimization. And that's the focus, other than our victims of human trafficking. Listen, folks, I want to introduce you to Andres Gill, okay? Here's this guy. He's also on this board, but get a look at him for a second. He came down here from New York with 3 females. All of them are in the country illegally. Did you hear what I said? They're all here illegally. He's the one that comes with them to drive them. These ladies are all controlled by a human trafficker. We think their human trafficker is a female. She sets up their appointments. She puts their ads online. She tells them where to go. And by the way, on Friday, the victims of human trafficking, and we've graded them out, 3 of them that are here illegally from Venezuela, 3 of them have to pay her $3,000 a piece on Friday, or else they're threatened. So they're not free. They're really indentured, and they're quote unquote paying off their debt. Now, here's what they told us. All right. I'm sure the federal government will verify that this is not true, but you decide who you want to believe, whether you want to believe these victims of human trafficking or the whitewash the federal authorities give you. They said that when they came into the country illegally, DHS gave them a form, an ID, paperwork that allows them to fly for free. You know, Southwest would let your bags fly free. Well, the federal government will let your illegal immigrants fly free. And they operate out of New York. And they were working up there, and the New York authorities said, hey, if you don't have identification, you can't work in our sex trade up here. You know, we don't allow sex trade here at all, but New York will allow you to do some stuff if you got the proper authority. So they say they make a lot of money. They're addicted to it. These ladies are going to give you more details. They tell us that they fly to major metro centers for free on the federal government, where they set up their appointments for sex all around the country. Did you hear what I said? Listen, folks, if they don't pay $3,000 a piece on Friday, they're in trouble. The human trafficker sets up the deal. Hey, this deal is just outside of Tampa. They say they show this ID, this card, this paper, they fly for free down here. Then they fly back. But we heard a similar theme from all 21 of these folks. We can't work legally. We're addicted to this cash. It's a lot of cash and it's quick. So we have to give $3,000 a week. We get to keep everything above that. We have a crisis at the border. And because of the crisis at the border, we have people that are victimizing illegal folks, forcing them into the sex trade because we allow these criminals in the country illegally. We all rail about this and nobody pays any attention. And then we want to politic everything. Oh, we had a good piece of legislation that limited the average to only 5,000 illegals a day in the country, and then we can shut it off. Well, if you can shut it off at 5,000 people illegally coming in this country a day, you can shut it off at no people illegally coming in this country a day. But the politicians are politicking while the victims are being victimized. I read an article this week that says, well, the illegals coming here aren't committing crime at any greater percentage than the people who are here legally. What they didn't tell you is if they weren't here illegally at all, the crime they would commit here would be zero. So we're being victimized. But that doesn't make any difference on the national level. You see, because they set up there behind their gated communities and in Congress, and they play politics back and forth between the two parties, while illegals are victimized, citizens are victimized, children are victimized. And you got this goofy looking kid here who's making sure that they come up with $3,000 a week a piece, and he's here illegally.
Absolutely, Shelley. 100%. That's why I'm playing this right now.
It's a mess. And it doesn't have to be. If we can deal with it and catch it on the local level, they can stop it on the federal level. Shame on all of them. Every one of them. For not getting together and saying, you know, there are things bigger in this country than my individual politics. So now we'll start with Jody. Jody, come on up.
Good morning. My name is Jody Domingue, and I'm the Executive Director of Anti-Trafficking at One More Child. We would like to thank Sheriff Judd, the Polk County Sheriff's detectives, and the various agencies that are represented here today for their continued partnership and for the ability to affect those who are being impacted by commercial sexual exploitation at their most critical moments. One More Child has been serving vulnerable children and families for the
Absolutely.
last 120 years.
No thanks needed.
Last year, we served over 250,000 individuals. 776 of those were survivors of human sex trafficking that we served in Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Ohio. We walked alongside these individuals with survivor mentorship, advocacy, and mental health counseling. Several of the survivors that we came alongside of came from operations just like this one, including Amber. We met Amber at the last Polk County Sheriff's operation. And although Amber wasn't ready to disclose her victimization, she was ready.
No worries, Shelly. I just appreciate you being here supporting this right now. You don't have to worry about the membership. Do what you got to do. You're still here. That's all that matters. So no worries. Please don't worry about that ever.
Ready to receive help. And we were able to wrap around Amber with advocacy with her criminal court case and provide her necessary resources that began her path and journey to healing. As a result of this, we were also able to help Amber identify a local church that she was able to plug into for her forever community. And now she's got a hope for her future. During this operation, we provided follow-up services to 62 individuals who came to be purchased for sex. We met with over 23 women while they—
Thank you so much, Shelly. I appreciate that so very much. Whoever got that membership, congratulations. Welcome back. Or if it's your first time, welcome to the sauce. Another meatball in the house. Can't go wrong there. So thank you again, Shelly. I appreciate that. All of you very much.
They were incarcerated, to let them know that they had better options, that there were resources out there for them that could lead for their healing and for them to be self-sufficient on their own. We also helped identify as many as 14 potential victims of human trafficking who now have ongoing investigations. I will say, with all of this great work in this operation, there were a lot of people who were arrested for purchasing sex, coming to purchase sex. And the sheriff has asked us to address that this is a significant problem that must be addressed at all levels. Lucky.
Awesome and congratulations. Party of 5. No worries, no worries, no worries. Again, thank you, Shelly, and welcome to the sauce party. Welcome the new meatball, folks. Thank you.
For us, we were in the rooms embedded during these investigations. So not only are we able to present those that are vulnerable with necessary resources, but we're also able to provide education to the buyers that what they're doing is not a act between two consensual adults, that people on the other side of that transaction are being victimized time and time again. And we are begging, imploring for our advocates around the state to utilize the resources at their disposal, including the state's attorney's office, to make sure that we are implementing the fines associated with buying commercial sex. And also that we're utilizing registries that we have. The Polk County Sheriff's Office is one of the very few that utilizes those types of resources. And we are asking that other advocates around the state do the same as well. Now, none of this great work could have been possible without our expert team. We dedicated a total of team members, including advocates, mental health therapists, and lived experience experts who were embedded during this operation on the very night of the operation happening, and then also did immediate follow-up visits afterwards with every individual we encountered that we could. I would like to introduce you to one of our lived experience experts, Stacy Ham. Stacy had a pivotal role in leadership during this operation, and we are grateful that she utilized both her lived experience as well as her expertise in providing support to those who have been affected by commercial sexual exploitation.
Good morning. My name is Stacy Ham, and I am here today as a survivor leader and mentor with One More Child's anti-trafficking mobile team. I'm honored to stand here today with the Polk County Sheriff's Office and so many amazing organizations who are continuously fighting for our survivors to be seen and heard. I can tell you that human trafficking is very rarely what we often see in movies, social media, and online. It often depicts children being kidnapped, held in cages, taken against their will, teens being stalked at stores or when they leave schools. While this may happen, this is not the case in the majority of our trafficking victims here in the US, and this can sometimes lead to our victims being misidentified. As a survivor of human trafficking, I grew up with my exploiters and my traffickers. I was born into a multi-generational cycle of familial trafficking where I began being exploited and sold for sex by the age of 2. What I've learned throughout my trafficking experience and from my brother and sister survivors is that so many of us have personally known our traffickers. Many of us develop relationships with our traffickers, and many of us have felt a sense of belonging with our traffickers. I can tell you, many traffickers are men, women, boyfriends, girlfriends, family members, pimps, and people that we are meeting online, all who are using grooming tactics to prey on our vulnerabilities. Any race, age, and gender can become susceptible to being targeted for human trafficking. It typically takes an average of 8 to 10 points of contact for someone to feel comfortable to come forward and speak on behalf of being a survivor or a victim of human trafficking. And I can tell you this is true. Throughout my life, I've had so many amazing people pouring into me, encouraging me to speak on my experiences and to seek healing for my recovery of human trafficking.
Thank you, Shaz.
I've
I
had
will.
amazing
Thank you
mentors
very
who
much.
taught me great life skills and therapists that have helped me process the trauma that I endured. I stand here today as a survivor.
Also, just to give you guys a heads up, we're going to be doing a show on this and this alone, trafficking in the United States and outward. It's going to be something I'm going to be really focusing on, especially with child trafficking, because of what has happened more recently. It's become a deeper passion of my own. So that's going to be something we're going to be focusing directly on 100% and getting the word out there. So a lot of people don't understand it. Like she's explaining right now what it actually consists of. Okay. So please be ready, guys, because that's coming. That's something I'm really, really going to be pushing hard to spread the word about because it happens so much now and it's such a bad thing. These children that we're looking for on a regular basis have a tendency to fall into that, sadly, and then we never see them again. It has to stop. This is our country. These are our children. We have to be the ones to stand up and say enough is enough. Nobody else is going to do it, guys. All of us. There's enough of us that we can do that because we have the best realm and the best way of communication right here in front of us, what we're doing right now to do that. And word of mouth and person to person and face to face, the things that we talk about are the best ways to do this. We can do it, guys. And that's why I'll be pushing this as much as I will be.
Of human trafficking to share there is light and that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. To any survivor that is out there listening right now, I want you to know that all of us, we see you and we hear you, and we have teams of experts here ready to meet and serve you 24/7. We are ready to come alongside you towards your hope, your healing, and your restoration. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Katie Parchment. I'm the co-chair for the Human Trafficking Task Force for the Polk, Highlands, and Hardee counties, as well as the Resiliency Coordinator with Heartland for Children. Heartland for Children is the lead community-based care agency under the Department of Children and Families that oversees the child welfare system for Polk, Highlands, and Hardee counties. On behalf of Heartland for Children, I would like to extend a warm thank you to Sheriff Judd and all the law enforcement personnel standing behind me. The strong partnership between the Sheriff Department, Heartland for Children, and the other NGOs allows us to be on the ground floor of engagement with potential human trafficking victims to provide them with the immediate resources and help that they need. That's unique to this area. Other areas don't give that opportunity for NGOs to be right there on the ground floor to really pour into people who are being victimized in that moment. So we thank you and appreciate that. This operation continues to be an outstanding example of collaboration, compassion, and community engagement. Each and every law enforcement officer, detention deputy, and volunteer operated in grace and professionalism, and we appreciate it. During the course of the 8 days, we were given the opportunity to engage with and get to know every individual that came through the door. I would like to thank them for being open to speaking to us about their current circumstances, engaging in discussions about human trafficking, weighing out the implications and safety concerns of being in the life, and briefly unpacking the trauma associated with it. We were also able to discuss what adverse childhood experiences are and obtain a few attendee scores. Several of the people who completed the ACEs screening had a score of 4 or more, which is considered a high ACEs score and indicative of a history of trauma. Not only were we given the opportunity to speak to potential human trafficking victims, we were also able to educate the buyers on the role they play in the cycle of abuse and trauma that may have endured over years. There was one common thread that was quite evident when speaking with the women in the life, and that was resiliency. I would encourage you to continue to build on that resiliency and reach out to our partners for help. Hope Florida is a free program that is designed to help individuals work through barriers for self-sufficiency and community resources. With the help of resource navigators, we are committed to staying engaged with families beyond the first phone call. If you need help, contact Hope Florida at 850-300-HOPE. United Way of Central Florida 211 hotline is a 24-hour, 7 days a week resource dedicated to helping people find community resources and local programs that helps with everything from everyday basic needs to more complicated necessities. And then findhelp.org is a free comprehensive website with a variety of resources and providers that are unique to the area in which the users live. These are just 3 among many outstanding programs that are doing the work in our communities. Please take advantage of these free resources to help strengthen your resiliency and response and reposition your life to a sustainable and safe occupation. In closing, please remember, and I'm speaking to anybody who may be in the life or may be being trafficked, that you are more than your current circumstances. You are loved, you are wanted, and you have an amazing testimony ahead of you, but seek the help because we are here to help. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Batchelder, and I am an advocate with Sail of Freedom. Like many of these ladies said, when we meet individuals who are being trafficked during these operations or through other means, they don't often raise their hand and say, I'm a victim of human trafficking. It takes many different encounters for them to feel comfortable enough to share that, or even to understand that that's actually what's happening to them. So if you are out there and you feel that you may be being victimized, please.
I have issues with that, Shazza.
Offers
And thank you again for the
they offer
donation. It's
therapy,
very, very, very
assist people in
appreciated.
attending court hearings where they're able to testify against their traffickers. And we can be reached at 1-888-FREE-ME.
Morning, Assistant Chief Pacheco with the Lakeland Police Department. Just want to thank Sheriff Judd and all of his team and my team that participated in this operation. What's disturbing to me is that this was just one operation, and look at how many people we arrested and how many victims of human trafficking that we identified. What happens on the other 364 days a year that we're all driving around our city and our county, and what's happening right underneath our noses. So there are tons and tons of victims out there who we have yet to identify. And it's only through these operations that we're able to at least identify some who we're able to help. So from our agency, from the Lakeland Police Department, we're proud to partner with all these other agencies to be a part of these operations, and we'll continue to do so as long as there's a need to do so. Thank you.
Good morning, Steve Parker, Chief of Police for the City of Davenport, and the Davenport Police Department, and I've said it before and I'll continue to say it, you know, we stand alongside with Sheriff Judd and the rest of these other law enforcement agencies in these kind of operations. I mean, it's, you can look at the numbers and tell it's a needed task. It's something that needs to be done. And, you know, in Polk County, we are blessed to have law enforcement agencies have worked well with each other. We have that great partnership. But I think what's important in these operations to note is the collaboration and the partnership we have with these organizations behind us. You know, it's without them that we don't see the after effects. We don't see the hard work that goes into helping these victims get out of these kind of scenarios. And I think for me, I think that's the key to these operations, identifying them and getting that help that they need afterwards. And that's where these ladies come in at. And again, I just want to say thank you to Sheriff Judd and to our partners here for all the work that we did this past week. Thank you.
We need to have operations like this going on in every state in the United States, folks. Every state. Literally. Every city of every state. If you think about it, if we could get something like that organized, if they could get something like that organized in at least once a month, once every 3 months in every city of every state in the United States, can you imagine how much of a change it could make? It really could. And it doesn't have to be that drawn out. You know what I'm saying? It could be dealt with if they could get it organized in a big way. I think I would 100% support that.
Now what happens is we gather all these cases together and we send them to the state attorney's office. And we're fortunate in this state to have Brian Haas as our state attorney. He is simply outstanding. His team is outstanding. He gets it. He gets the 30,000-foot picture. He gets the ground picture. He is an advocate for the victim.
Absolutely, Shelley.
And he's going to prosecute the suspects to the fullest extent of the law, for which I'm grateful. But with that, do you have questions of any of us?
So within the span of a year, you were able to rescue or identify 15 victims, potential victims of human trafficking. This is a new record for you. So is that indicative that this problem is growing worse year after year? Or?
I think it's indicative that we are finding the victims. We have seen, and you have covered for years in the media, about the human trafficking problem across the United States. And Florida, being a vacation state and a sunny state, is certainly no exception to that. It is also an attribute to our NGOs because, as Chief Parker said, they see them for the long term. If it was a one and done on the night of the arrest, these numbers wouldn't be 58. We'd be lucky if they were 3. But they continue to follow up and continue to follow up to rescue them. So while I'm totally excited because we've never seen these numbers, the biggest problem we have in this type of investigation is getting the victims to admit they're victims because they're more afraid of their pimps and the human traffickers than they are of the criminal justice system. And it's only through the work of these ladies and their teams that happens. Yes, ma'am.
You said you think you know of a woman who, like you said, was human trafficking and controlling these women. How important is it to you for you to find those people and arrest them?
Oh, absolutely. That is the next wave of this investigation. We know she's Dominican, and we know she is currently in Miami. So if she doesn't get her illegal Dominican butt on a plane and fly back out of this country, we're going to be on her like a good hound dog on a trail. That's a guarantee. Anything else? Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next time.
And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Grady Judd, striking again. Like I said, I wish this man was in every city of every state in this nation. This man is amazing. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's being put into effect in some places. We can all help with this, guys, because this is what we do. This is what we do is we talk to people. And like I said, I will be pushing this to no end. It's got to stop. When it started to affect our children in such a bad way, it should never have affected our children, period. But in such a bad way is when it really upset me in a bad way, because there's got to be something that can be done with this. They're disappearing every single day, and they're not coming home. These children are our future, folks. When we're not here anymore, it's them. And if they're not here to take it over, what's going to happen, you guys? And not only that, they're our world. This is our life. These children are, it's just our world. And they don't deserve this. None of this. Nothing that they go through, they deserve. None of these children ask to be born. They don't ask to be neglected. They don't ask to be abused. None of that. They're just brought into this world. And again, like I've been saying, and I will continue to say, if you don't want children, don't have them. If you can't handle children, don't have them. If you have children and you realize you can't take care of them, take them somewhere to someone who can. Stop hurting them. Stop giving them away. Stop selling them. Stop abusing them. Enough is enough. I'm just tired of it. Tired of it all. Beyond tired of it. There's no excuse for any of this, guys. None. Every day that I go on here, I haven't even shown you guys a quarter, an eighth of what's out there on this YouTube world, internet stuff about kids that are missing, that are gone, that are being harmed. I haven't, not even an eighth of it. Because I can't. We can't. You guys can't handle that. That's too much to take in at one time. It's a lot for me to do what I do, okay? But I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm going to, more and more and more as we go. And the other cases we carry, we'll continue to do it. And we add this right onto the tail end of it and keep going with it. Keep going with it. Because if we don't keep going with it, it's going to keep happening. The more we talk about it, the more we put it out there, the more that we broadcast to everybody else, our neighbors and our mailman and our milkman and the butcher at the grocery store and the cashier at Walmart, as they're sitting having their break watching YouTube, doing this and seeing this stuff. Start at home. Start at home. Start talking to your family. The next time you have a family dinner for the holidays, talk to them about it. Spread the word, guys. It's the only way it's going to stop. And we have to stop it. Enough is enough. There are no more excuses, you guys. None. We can't be afraid of this. We can't. I'm tired of seeing children suffer. I'm tired of seeing parents of children suffer. Enough. It's absolutely enough. And we can all do this together, you guys. There's so many of us out here. So many of us out here that we can. I know we can. I have pure, wholehearted faith that we can. If you have a conversation with one person a day, or even every few days, it's going to make a difference. Because that person's going to have a conversation with 2 other people. Those 2 people may talk to 4 or 5 other people. And those 5 people may talk to 20 other people, and so on and so on. And you know how that goes. And eventually it's going to be known. And eventually people are going to say, why? Why is this happening? What do we do? What can we do to make it stop? It shouldn't have to be based on experience that the parent has to experience this to know what it's about and go through that. When in turn, they can be educated about it, know about it, educate others, including their own children, about it, and put a stop to it before it happens, you guys. And there doesn't have to be any more pain or any more suffering because of this. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to sound like the preacher, but I'm just saying it means that much to me. And you're all sitting in here with me right now, so it means that much to you as well. That's all I'm saying. Amen. Educate your household. Exactly. Thank you, Mandy. Right, Bobby. There's no excuses at all anymore. April says it's completely infiltrated and facilitated, 100%. That's half of the problem. It absolutely, if not more, Carolyn, I agree. It's hard enough these nowadays to get your neighbor to communicate. Head down and zoom like a roadrunner. Yell at him. Hey, how you doing today? By the way, did you see that thing on the news yesterday? Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? Did you know this, and this? They're going to engage, folks, because it's interesting to people. Back and forth. There you go. It does. It does work. I've done it before. I do it all the time. It does. It matters, folks. It matters in a big way. Well, they may not want it to stop, Twizzle, but we do. And it doesn't hurt to try. Even if it's just a little bit of a dent, it still means something. So, does anybody, what time is it? 11. I got a few minutes here. You throw a link in the chat here. If anybody wants to jump up here and say anything in regards to this, please do. Or in regards to these cases that we're looking at, please do. That's right, Mikey. You got to start somewhere. Like with anything, you got to start somewhere. Why not here? There's a link, guys. If anybody wants to jump up here and say anything, yell at me. Whatever you want to do, come on up here. Say something. If not, I understand. It's no big deal. We have plenty of time to talk about it, folks. Plenty of time because I'm going to be doing a lot of it. Shelly says, I have been called late at night over a decade ago from our oldest friends who were at Walmart and had weird illegal guys following her. She hid and called me. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You tell people this is what you do. People need to protect themselves and each other. That's right. Saving one life matters. One conversation, that's all it takes. Bringing one child home that is out and that's missing, it doesn't matter if it's only one. Is that what it takes nowadays? Every parent needs to have to go through. I agree with that. They should have to. They should have to. And if we know we can do that ourselves, you guys. If we know that our kids are having children, pay more attention. Not that you guys haven't, but there's a lot of people that don't. If our children are having children, they need to know what to do. They all do. Okay? Doesn't hurt to be a nice person and give good advice. 100%, Shelly, 100%. I agree with that too. Other than for teaching scenarios, it definitely should be. That's the problem right there. That's the problem, Twizzle. Well, and in that case, then we need to be the ones to stand up and take whatever we can. They're not going to do it. We need to step up then. That's all I can say is we need to step up. I've been doing it for a long time already. I've been doing it for a long time. My adult children have had plenty of friends that came here because they didn't know what to do. They still come here years and years later because they don't know they're comfortable here. They know they're going to be taken care of. They know that they're safe here. That's all I can say. It's okay. Like I said, we don't have to do that tonight, guys. All I'm telling you is it's coming. There's going to be a lot more talk about this. There's going to be a lot more involvement with this, and there's going to be a lot of preaching about it, guys. That I agree with too, Shazza. I do. Sometimes the people who are in places in foster care are put in more danger. 100%. 100%. And I'm going to say this, guys, please start doing this. please stop minding your business. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I'm being serious. Please stop minding your business. If you see something, say something. Period. Period, period, period. There aren't any updates as of yet, Twizzle. Unfortunately, not yet. Exactly, Bobby. It doesn't. It takes a matter of saying hi and smiling. That's not that hard, guys. There are no new updates with Kaylee, unfortunately. I think, again, because of the different storms and stuff that they've had, which we're getting right now as I speak. Absolutely. Got it. So again, guys, stop minding your. We need to stop minding our business if we see something and say something, period. We have to stop letting people feel like it's okay to do these things. And of course, don't put yourself in a dangerous situation, folks. Don't do that. If somebody's going to harm you, then you protect yourself. But if you have the ability and you see something, then say something. That's all I'm saying. I watched a mother walk 2 feet in front of a toddler in a store. It bothered me so much that I had to restrain myself from saying something. Then say something. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to tell you to mind your business. At least you made notice of it. At least you made them pay attention to it. You see what I'm saying? And there's ways to say things without being rude, folks. There is. I do it all the time. Hello, hello? Can you hear me, Terry?
Yeah, hold on one second. I want to turn off my YouTube.
Okay.
Can
You okay? Are you there, Terry?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I need to turn off YouTube, right?
In the background, yeah.
Where do I do that? Oh, okay. Okay. Tell me when.
All right. You can hear me clear. We're not on a delay or anything.
Is that good?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, cool. Why, thank you. Nobody ever tells me I sound good. No, I just I mean, I know I go crazy on this, but there are so many people that are good families and good couples that would be the most idealistic parents. And that's where it just is amazing. I mean, something's got to change. And I just don't know unless I really do think if we should have to take a test to be a parent. They certainly make an adoptive parent to go through the hoops.
I've been saying that for years. I think you should have to take a common sense proficiency test because anymore they don't seem to have it. Now, don't get me wrong. You're right. There are good parents. There's good families. There are just good things going on in the world, but not enough. Okay, that's all. And I think we personally can make that better. Maybe I don't think it's a pipe dream. I think it's something that we can do, folks. If we put forth just a little bit of effort every single day, we can make something happen with that. I agree.
Well, exactly. I agree. And unfortunately, it's a cycle. A lot of these parents that are having kids that have no reason in God's green earth to be a parent, they're doing it because they have never been loved by their parents. So it's a cycle. They have kids so that they think, oh, well, if I have a kid, they're going to love me. I'm going to have love. And that's
Exactly.
unfair to a child to be brought into this world like that.
That's right.
You know, I mean, I've heard that in high school, a lot of times in a lot of the high schools, the kids I mean, you want to be pregnant. There's like a club.
It has started to happen. I've seen that too. I've seen it. It's kind of gross, but yes, I've seen it. It is. It's a thing.
Exactly.
If you're
And I
pregnant,
have
you're
been
cool.
talking to some sheriffs about this, and they are. I know I watched the Missouri governor, and they're taking money out of their slush fund and sending down 300 National Guard that volunteered, and I believe just now 7 state patrol, which is also they volunteered. Now that's for 30 days. Then they'll have to do it again and figure it out. They're doing it slowly. There's 14 other states that are doing it. They're all joining the Texas governor. You know, they're taking it into their hands because our federal government hasn't done a darn thing.
Right.
And, you know, so like I said, in there, I did post, he's the sheriff for Butler County, and they just had a sheriff's meeting. This guy I mean, he tells it how it is. It's something that I think everybody should watch. It makes you understand a little bit more what's going on. And it's not just, I mean, they can't do everything. There's just not enough people down there.
Right. Right. I agree with that. I do.
And, you know, I mean, and then what happens, I think, I just heard today a big prison in Haiti, there was a jailbreak. I say that with quotes because who the heck knows if there was a jailbreak or if they just released them. Because, I mean, and these are really bad criminals. Where do you think they're going to go?
Of course. Where they can go. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That is the problem. That's where a lot of the problems are coming from, because we don't know what's going on with that stuff. We have no control over any of that. You know what I mean? We really don't.
And that's sad because we should.
You know, that whole thing that's going on at the borders and all that. That's a problem on top of a problem, you guys. We have other things that that aren't being dealt with now, and now they're taking that. Instead of it being a 2-layer cake, they're throwing a 3rd layer on top and then putting icing on top of that. What are we supposed to do with that? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And everybody has the thought, you know, if you don't live in Texas or Florida, it's like we all think, oh, well, it's not happening. It's never going to happen to us, you know, because we're not living it. Can you imagine having illegal aliens walking all day and all night through your backyard? And that's what they're dealing with.
100%. I 100%. And these people have no choice. No choice.
No, and they're charging. It's the cartel. I mean, they are charging $5 to $10 million or $1,000. I can't remember, so I apologize, but it doesn't really matter. $5,000 to somebody that's coming over from Mexico or wherever that's $5 million to them. I mean, they're charging them that much per head. They don't guarantee they're going to get over here. They could drown on their way. It doesn't matter. And then they're paying. It's like,
guys, our people, us, our people, our kids. I watched a documentary on this just 3-4 days ago. Are down in these areas. They're being talked to online. They're being picked up online, and they're offering them a job of a lifetime to make a good amount of money to drive from Ohio, per se. I'm just saying that because that's where we're at. Okay. Down to Nevada. Okay. You pick somebody up or 2-3 people up in this spot. They pay you $3,000 to drive them from that spot and drop them off at another area and then come home. And you made your money because of the electronic, cash apps that we have now. It makes it simple and easy to do that kind of thing. This is what's going on. They're coming from all over the United States doing this, going down those ways and doing that for $2,000, $1,500, $8,000. I've watched so many of them, and the police are so overwhelmed with this down there. They're stopping people left and right just because they have to. You see a car go by that looks like it has somebody in it that doesn't look like they're from that area, they have to stop them. They're stopping. I think the statistic was like literally like all day long. This one police officer said that they've made 35 stops, and they busted 35 stops. Out of 35 stops, every one of them was a trafficking situation. Does that make any sense?
No.
It's insane, folks. And it's our kids, our college kids that are in college trying to make extra money. They're getting these online job offers and they're running and doing it. I would do it too if I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Well,
Then
exactly.
they get there. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
You offer a 19-year-old kid $5,000, they're gonna jump on it, guys. They need that money, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how this is happening. It's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. And sheriffs are elected individuals, okay? And that means we hold the control, not the sheriff. So if your sheriff in your state is not and is not part of this and helping this problem, because they just had that meeting, and like
Right.
I said, I highly recommend people look at that. And if it didn't come out right, go to YouTube to the Butler County Sheriff. Okay. But yeah, it's when we were in high school, or not high school, but college. I mean, I'll hold my hand up. Yes, I tried a few, drugs when I was in high school. Nothing big or anything.
Most of us did.
You
We
know?
live and learn. It's part of growing up, folks. You do these things to learn. But I'd have never done anything like what they're doing now. Never.
Well, you try it one time now and you're dead.
That's it. You can't. You just can't anymore, okay?
There's no trying. I just tried it one time. No, you can't. And what scares me even worse is that now I'm hearing that our prescription medicine it could be tainted.
That's a fact. It is a fact.
So yeah, it's hitting us big time. And that's why, in order to stay ahead of this game, we have got to stay in touch with our government, our elected officials, everyone. They have to know we mean business.
Right.
We're not going to just sit here and wait for it to come up here.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is exactly the way we need to stand up and see it for what it is. And like Party just said, we can do better, guys. We have to do better. There's no we can do. We have to do better.
People notice.
We have to do better because we have to teach our children what should be happening. They're seeing what's going on now, and it's not supposed to be this way. Okay, and it's been let go for so long that that's what they're seeing. My kids know it's wrong. They hear me daily talk about it. Okay, they see what I cover. They know this is horrible. They ask, why is this like this, Dad? Why is this being like that? It's turned into this, guys, because we've allowed it to happen. Now we have to be the ones that have to stand back up and go, okay, you had your time. You did what you did. Enough is enough. Go away. We're taking back what's ours, and we're going to make it right. And that's what we have to do.
What's your thought on what they're doing in New York with illegal migrants, that they can shoot them or whatever? I don't know what your thought is. I don't know enough about it to really.
They're breaking their own laws, first of all. Okay, they're breaking the immigration laws themselves. The government is, and it's a problem. Okay, there's people coming in. I watched a story on here. There was a couple that was watching the news, and they're seeing all these misplaced immigrants. Right? They felt bad. Oh, we're human. I get it. Okay, so then they called, and I don't know exactly who they called because it doesn't give you all that, but they got a hold of their local government and said, me and my husband, because our kids are grown, would like to take on some of these immigrants and have them live in our home.
Really?
Okay. These people are not papered, folks. They're not registered. You don't know who these people are. So at 2 hours later, a white van pulls up and 8 people get out of this van and you meet the people. They move into your home. I mean, they asked them, they welcomed them because they called to have them brought there. They're non-registered people. Nobody knows who they are. So if they come in your home and they rob you or attack you or whatever, and then they run off, nobody knows who they are.
No, they don't.
That's not safe. That is not safe, you guys. Okay, If our children get harmed because of that, that's not good. What about their children that are coming over here that don't speak English, that don't understand anything? There are bad people that live in this country, folks. Needless to say, we know that. There's bad people out there that do bad things to people. Their children could be getting harmed. Who are they going to tell about it?
Well, yeah, there's bad people. I mean, every place has bad people, but does that mean that we want to triple those bad people?
No, that's
And
what I'm
they're not
saying.
even under the radar because, like you said, they're not citizens.
They don't belong here. Therefore, there is no radar. It doesn't exist for them. That's the sad thing. So they can do whatever they want to do and just move along. There was a part of that documentary that there were criminals that were released from another country, I think it was Venezuela, who came here, committed crimes, were sent back, and came back and did it again.
Well, why wouldn't they? All they did is get sent back and cross the
How many
river.
times is that going to happen before it's too much? It's already too much. We just saw the girl, Lakin, who was murdered on the campus at Georgia University. Illegal immigrant again. And this, I'm not turning this into an immigration scenario, folks. That's not what this is about. I'm just saying it is part of the problem with the trafficking scenario, folks. It's all all goes together in one big ball of wax.
And you guys, it's not, I mean, you now need to, it's not like you can't see me, but way up here is drug trafficking and way down here. No, it is like way up here is drug trafficking and maybe a tiny little bit behind underneath it is human trafficking. It's
100%.
only going to get worse.
And and April just said unaccounted children being trafficked and or worse, and no way of knowing who's in trouble. Perfect. Yeah. Absolute perfect statement right there. That's what it is. It's sad. It's very sad. What are we supposed to do? I mean, we can protect our own homes and ourselves. That doesn't help solve the problem. We have to be able to take on a little bit more, guys, and stand up and say a little bit more.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I mean, and I know I've mentioned this before a couple days ago, but I'm working on getting a channel put together on adoption, and I've already talked to my attorney that did, because my second child was a private adoption, so I used her. I don't think people understand adoption. I didn't before I adopted. I had to research my butt off, but that's how you start to get ahead of it. At least you get the kids that are, living in orphanages that only own a big trash bag. That's their life.
Yeah.
Literally. Or you get a hold of people, you get them educated. The girls that are pregnant are educated and they make, they understand. Why do you think they have open adoption? It makes it easier. They're just looking for love and they don't know how to think correctly because they weren't raised correctly.
Right. And that's where we can change things. Like I said, even on a very small level, we can at least educate our children and our grandchildren and our friends and our neighbors to things that we understand and know now at this point, and hope that they pass that word on, and little by little the education grows, and at least it's known, and we have to keep it known. We have to keep that word out there is what we're doing. Okay. That's a start, guys. Like Mikey said earlier, we got to start somewhere. Well, here we are. This is it right here.
And if your children are raised in a home that they are loved and clothed and fed and happy, and they're going to raise kids that are, it's because right now it's just not right. And I just don't know what else I can think of to say to get ahead of it. I mean, that's an idea. That's my thing. That's the only, I mean, you say one person tells another person, we'll have the kids do the same thing. They can teach it in school. They can do whatever. But I mean, I saw a
Absolutely.
picture of a hotel room. People just, I mean, these are the things that people need to be aware of their surroundings. Apparently, in a hotel room, there was a trap door in the closet on the floor. I went, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I flew and when I went into my hotel room, there was cut up with a razor blade on the desk of fentanyl. Luckily, I barely even walked in the room. I turned back around. But, I mean, it's happening. I mean, that's ridiculous.
It is. It is very much so.
And make sure your sheriff is doing his job. Because, like I said, they are elected officials. And if they are not doing
They work for us. We don't work for them.
right, and unfortunately, there are some bad sheriffs out there.
It happens. Yeah, it happened. Like I said, we need to start small, start educating our children and ourselves, okay? And just keeping our eyes open, guys. And if you see something, you say something. That's all.
Does everybody know what's the sign that you're supposed to make if have you seen that? There's a sign.
If you're in trouble,
yeah, that you need help.
you go like that and you put your finger out if can to point to the person that's hurting you or could hurt you. That's what that means.
Because I've seen a lot of people. I didn't think it was that, but I don't know. I thought it was just a common, but maybe, I mean, I'm not saying that's not what it is.
There's other ways you can do it, but that's the one sign that I know. Thumb inside your fist, facing out. You go like this if you can see it. You put your hand there and then you point out, just like this.
Okay, maybe that is.
You don't have to point if you don't want to, but that shows like if the person's standing over there, you can go like this and point at that person. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's
we all need to know that.
That's what I was shown.
Yeah, I mean, we need to know that sign. I mean, I was telling my husband that he's like, no sign.
Yeah, thumb inside your fist, facing out like this. That's how I was
If
shown.
you see it, don't ignore it. Wouldn't it be better to be embarrassed that you?
Thank you, April.
And if the person that's with them, I don't know. I just take the worst. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can be embarrassed, or they can be embarrassed, or I don't know what. But what's the best thing you might happen? You might save somebody.
A little embarrassment. Yeah, it's worth saving. Definitely saving somebody's life, possibly.
I don't want to keep. I know other people want up, but I hope that you guys will. Once I get it going, and I'll tell you, Dago, so you can. I hope that will be good. And maybe the more people that are talking about that can kind of give out. It's a great way to give ideas on what we can do because nobody else is going to do it for us.
Well, the main thing is that we continue talking about it. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's what I'll be doing is I'll be continuously talking about it. I'll be having a show specifically about that, more than one, where it's talked about repeatedly and there's things that we learn and show, and I'll show videos on all of those things that we've talked about for different things. Okay. And we'll just go from there and we keep doing it, and then you spread the word. And I mean, we can only do what we can do, but anything we do is more than's being done right now. Okay. And that's what we need to do.
Yeah. I mean, those are it's just, can you imagine being a child? And all right. But anyway, I just wanted to share those thoughts. And
It's a rough thought, hard to think about, Terry. It really is.
Anyway, I will drop down and let somebody else get.
Well, I think we've been going about almost 4 hours now. I think we're probably done for the night, but I appreciate you jumping up here and speaking for sure. Did I do it? I can't tell at night, or not at night, but back here in the dark, if you guys can see me clearly. So Felicity said something about pull all 5 fingers up, spread out, tuck thumb across palm, and then hold your. Yeah, that's what I did. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was doing, or I thought I was.
I think you don't need to point the finger. I think that's what was.
Oh, that was another thing that's added. Like if you're doing that, you can do that, and then if the person's not looking at you, the video I watched showed that you can point at that person real quick if you have the ability, and then they know.
Right, right.
That's not a
Oh,
necessity.
one
but
more
it's
thing I was going to say is, you know, Disney, you know, these places where a lot of kids go are a huge magnet for people that are kidnappers, pedophiles, you name it.
Right.
So, you know, FYI to you, and maybe you can bring it on your show and stuff, because I can't imagine a lot of these people are not going to go visit. A lot of people on the show right now, but we've got a Disney that's being built with the largest water park, and
In Ohio?
yeah, yeah. They're building. They already have built a bunch of it over in where the Pro Football Hall of Fame is.
In Canton?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
they're building a big hotel there. They've already got. They call it the Village. It's already going. I mean, they have things there like Top Golf and all that kind of stuff.
And it's Disney based, huh?
Yeah, in fact,
Wow.
the CEO used to work with Disney. So, just, you know, not only were we always, I mean, were we one of the top ones? Now let's just add more to it.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Licity. Okay, I understand. I'm sorry. And I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that's interesting because I mean, Ohio of all places, you wouldn't think they would throw something in like that, but I guess okay. You know, we've
Yeah,
never
let's just
had
add
anything
to it.
big like that.
Oh, and I saw something else, and then I'm jumping. I mean it, but this was kind of interesting to me, and I don't know if anybody would ever do it, but I saw somebody that you take like if you check into a hotel room and you take a full plastic water bottle, if
Mm-hmm.
you roll it under your bed and it comes out the other side, then there's no one under the bed.
Right, right. Yes, they teach that in the schools now too.
Oh, do they?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
there's different safety precautions that they're teaching and showing, and there's a lot of videos on this stuff, you guys, that helps.
because it's not just child trafficking. I mean, it's human trafficking.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
So,
Chaz, I do, but not super close. I live in a rural country area, so like my one neighbor is very close, yes, but the rest of my neighbors are like a quarter mile away from me. So
so I will jump down, but it was nice talking to you, and I just think
Oh,
what a sad day it
absolutely.
is that we can't be prepared and know our surroundings because of us. We now have to know our surroundings of people
I
that are
said
walking by us that we need to help.
we need to stop minding our business, guys. As much as that sounds ridiculous, we need to stop minding our business. And if you see something, you say something. Period.
Perfect. All right, guys. Love you guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
Terry. Have a great night.
You too.
They do actually. My interstates connect to between Michigan, Pennsylvania, Indiana. They all run together. Okay. I do, Shaz. Actually, I feel safer out here than I would living in the city where I grew up at. There's a main road a main interstate that runs by my about a mile up the road from my house that runs through Indiana, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. So, and I think somewhere else too, down or going down towards West Virginia too. That road connects to all of these states. So yeah, and we have casinos here. We have water parks here. So, but anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys being here tonight for this. I see a lot of people have dropped off already, but that's okay. I appreciate you guys listening to the updates. There is nothing new as far as um Kaylee Kinder. I'm praying to God that something does come of that soon. But again, everybody just keep Kaylee and Elijah and oh my God, too many names at one time. Sebastian, please keep them in your thoughts and your prayers every day. If you're that type of a person, please do. It only takes a moment. Thank you, Shazza, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. That goes for all of you guys. I hope that the stuff I've shown you helps at all, even a little bit, and it gives you the insight that you need to keep looking at these. We're going to continue doing these things. Like I said, we're going to be having a show here soon about trafficking and stuff like that, just to give everybody the heads up on everything that we can, and that way we're informed. That's all we can do is be informed. Have a great night, Felicity, and thank you for the input and the insight about that earlier here. Sorry I misunderstood you, dear. But I appreciate you always being here, and that goes for all of you guys. Thank you to anybody that donated to support the channel. God bless. I appreciate that. It's never ever expected, but always appreciated. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves and love each other, and don't change a thing about yourselves. You are the beautiful people, and I am hoping everything goes right. I'll be here during the afternoon tomorrow, and I will see you all then. You all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Much love to you all, and I will thank you, Mikey. I appreciate you too, brother. I will see you all so very soon. Bye-bye, guys.